Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another Cosmo's Kitchen. How is everybody doing today?
We're doing great, Neil.
Good.
Good.
We're doing great.
Nick, are you doing all right there, buddy? You're muted. That's what's going on.
I was muted. That was on purpose for dramatic effect. I'm doing good. Yes, thank you.
All right, well, everybody, welcome to Cosmo's Kitchen. Cosmo's Kitchen is a restaurant in the early days of Arcadia, when the world was new, when there was magic everywhere, and when the art of gastromancy was at its peak. That's the art of infusing magic and cooking. And Cosmo's Kitchen, run by head chef Cosmo, is where you can find the most magical, the most wonderful, the most luxurious, and out of this world concoctions and dishes and meals, and it has a staff to match its reputation. Everyone on staff is a wizard or a rogue or a monk or some sort of like well-leveled, experienced person with exceptional skills who performs the one thing that they do exceedingly well. So why don't we go around the table and we'll introduce our character, who they are, and a little bit about them if we have anything. And then we'll start with today's session. And we're going to start off with Greenzerg, the ever charismatic and enigmatic Greenzerg.
Well,
who are you and who are you playing today, sir?
Well, in the last episode of Cosmo's Kitchen, my maitre d' Mathieu Dupont unfortunately met a grim end at the hands of a giant snail. So I will be now playing a new character who is the baker of the restaurant. His class is a necromancer wizard. Let me tell you a little bit about my friend here. So I'm setting the scene, okay? It's a bustling gnomish city. There's a bakery in the center of the town. It's legendary. It's known amongst all the gnomes as being the best bakery in the entire world. The owner, a rock gnome, named, now wait for it, Bredgar Allen Doe. He was just an ordinary baker, traveling the streets of the city, looking for old cookbooks, for unusual ingredients to enhance his recipes. One day, one cold, rainy Sunday morning, he's in an old forgotten market deep in the bowels of the city when he finds a dusty old tome that he thinks is a recipe book. He buys it quickly, takes it home, eager to unearth its secrets. But what he finds inside is not a normal recipe book. No, indeed. This is an ancient grimoire of necromantic magic. Well, Bredgar gets stuck in, He starts combining his knowledge of bakeries and bread and cakes with the forbidden knowledge from inside the grimoire. And the results are astounding. A cursed sourdough, an undead baguette, a possessed pumpernickel. The list goes on. The strange effects become more noticeable. The customers enchanted by the results. Bredgar's fame grows and grows until eventually he gets a call from the greatest chef in all the land, Cosmo himself, inviting Bredgar to travel to his restaurant and serve there as his baker. And here we are. He works in the kitchen with a brigade of skeletal bakers at his side. He has his trusty skeleton cat as his familiar, and that's how he spends his days.
Excellent. Next up is Jamie, also known as PotatoMcWhiskey. Who are you and who are you playing today?
I am playing Angus Boucher, and my task is to go up after possibly what is the best character introduction we've ever seen in this show. That was incredible, Nick.
That was really good.
Good job, Nick.
I am a
You cannot follow
dwarf.
that up.
Yeah, I'm being thrown to the wolves here. I am a dwarf barbarian whose goal in life was to be a public serving job, right? He wants to be a waiter. He wants to be the maitre d'. He wants to be the person who brings the people the food. He talks to them about the table. He says, "Oh, how was your wine? Was everything all right?" The problem is Angus has an anger management issue. So every time a customer made a complaint, he would completely ape out, go insane, and start destroying the restaurant. So he's been relegated now to the back of house, where he acts as the house's butcher. But he still holds in his heart that dream that he could one day maybe serve someone a casserole without breaking the table.
Ugh, what a dream.
Nice.
Next up, we have Pokemon challenges. Who are you and who are we playing today?
So we're playing as the only character who's been on every episode of Cosmo's Kitchen so far. You could say the main character, who knows? His name is Kenji. Kenji is a regular-ass, run-of-the-mill line cook who is extremely good at what he does, extremely dedicated to his craft. So dedicated to his craft that in the last episode, he managed to convince Cosmo to let him do his own menu at one point during the restaurant. Kenji is a fighter. He fights with the same knife skills that he developed in the kitchen, so he's got some swords that he can do some fighting with. He's not very nice to talk to. He's very focused on his work. He's always stressed out, and he's always snorting fairy dust.
Yes. And last but not least, we have our very special guest, Jaiden. Who are you and who are you playing today?
Hello. I'm a mixologist. My name is Briar, the ruler, conqueror, and inventor of alcohol. Cosmic has invited me to the kitchen purely because I'm too deranged to keep to have on the streets. He's protecting the world by simply inviting me and giving me a place to reside. Thank you.
Excellent. All right. So we're going to start our session today, as we start just about every session, with Cosmo.
Neil, before we start, really quick, in case we have anyone in the audience, anyone watching this video who has never heard of D&D in their life before, can you in one sentence sum up what we're doing today?
If it can be a run-on sentence, absolutely. We are playing 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons, which is a tabletop role-playing game where our players, the 4 people you see around me, have characters with stat blocks and classes and features to them that undergo some sort of quest or some sort of adventure. There is not necessarily a direct path to the results, and it's more of you have this mission and you have this set of skills. How would you like to complete your objective? How would you like to complete your mission? And then players are going to have to get creative. They're going to have to improvise. They're going to have to look at their spells and their abilities and how they know people interact with and work, and they might have to use some deception or some lies or some really good brokering or some negotiations, or in the very rare case that these things don't work, occasionally, 1 in 10 episodes, they might have to result to violence, and that's about right. Yeah, 1 in 10. So we're gonna line up the players, the characters, outside of Cosmo's kitchen in the back, and Cosmo's gonna walk down the line as you're all standing at attention. Hello, cooks, chefs, bakers.
Hello, chef.
Yes, chef.
Yes, chef.
He looks over at Briar, who did not say, yes, chef.
Sorry, I'm a little hungover, chef.
That's better. I have a job of the utmost importance. It's so important, I didn't even come to you first. You're my second picks. Now, the first group that went off to undertake this quest, they did a bad job. I had given it to Sweet Potato, my greatest apprentice. And what did he do? He failed me. He went to Goldilocks. He tried to do his quest, but he botched it. And Goldilocks ate the entire crew that he sent with him. And then Sweet Potato came back here a failure. And if you look in the meat locker, you'll see what has become of Sweet Potato. Now, I expect the 4 of you will do much better job at this all-important 3-phase mission, and without any exaggeration, this quest today, this job I have for you today, can determine the success or failure of Cosmo's Kitchen. Do you understand what I'm saying to you?
Yes, chef.
Yes, chef.
Excellent. So, as I'm sure you all know, Goldilocks, the gold dragon, has a lair in the nearby town, just outside of the nearby city. And she will extend lines of credit to anyone who can appropriately convince her that they are worth of that line of credit. And Cosmo's Kitchen is an expensive enterprise. We need new people. We need to bring in the very best people that we've got. This mixologist here, brand new off the streets, a little bit crazy, might kill something, but very expensive to hire. The baker over here he comes with an entire staff. It's not cheap to hire these things. And Cosmo's Kitchen, we make the best meals, but it costs an arm and a leg, sometimes quite literally. And so we need Goldilocks, the gold dragon, to extend us a line of credit. That is the first and most important part of your quest. We need a cash infusion of 10,000 gold.
Jesus Christ.
Angus will look shocked at that figure.
Insane.
I know, but there are things to be done. There's new heights to go to. We need to fix the roof on the kitchen, and we just can't use any old tiles or any old thatch. No, Cosmo's Kitchen only takes the best. So, we need a line of credit. Now, that's only the first part of our mission. That's the overt part. The second part is we need new dinner plates. And no dinner plates.
Been saying this.
Exactly. We can't just keep using these ceramics. I don't care that they're plated with gold. I don't care that they're made from the ground bones of kings and queens of ages past. They're trash. These kitchen plates suck. We are going to get gold dragon scales for our kitchen plates. And as we visit Goldilocks' lair, according to the late Sweet Potato, the lair is littered with her scales. That's also where things went wrong for him. They tried to get some of these extra scales lying around the lair, and what happened? She ate them. She said it was weird. She said, I don't like you picking off pieces of my old dead skin lying around the floor and taking them for yourselves and valuing them and eating off of them. That sounds creepy. Now, obviously, the gold dragon doesn't know anything about proper kitchens. She's never eaten at her table before. She's a monster. So you'll have to find a way to get gold dragon scales for dinner plates. Now, at bare minimum, we need 6. 6 gold dragon scales will give us dinner plates for a small group. But honestly, 20 is a good number. 20, we can throw a banquet. We can serve many people. But ideally, we would end up with 30. 30 gold dragon scales allows us to do everything we need, have a few in reserve, and have some that gives us some flexibility. So 6, 20, or 30 dragon scales. Gold. Dinner plate size. Do you understand?
Yes, chef.
Yes, chef.
Yes, chef.
Chef, yeah.
Excellent. And the third part of your mission, to visit Goldilocks. This is the hardest part. Here in Cosmo's Kitchen, we make the finest meals. We make the most wondrous dishes. And one day, one beautiful day in the future, before I die, I want to make a dragon omelet. So I need you to find out if Goldilocks has any eggs. Or
His eyes widen at the
she
mention of
is
this.
going to be laying any eggs anytime soon. Or, barring either of those, if she's actively looking for a mate or might be interested in one. This is a seed we're planting for later. Okay? But we need to know if and when there will be dragon eggs. So we can make the most golden, the most fluffy, the most hot and fiery omelets you've ever seen. Do you understand?
Yes,
Oh,
chef.
yeah, chef.
Yes, chef.
Yes, chef.
Excellent.
Chef, could I ask a quick question, chef?
Yes.
Let's say all this goes according to plan, and we
Yes.
steal the eggs, we steal the dragon scales.
So
if
I'm
we
not
get away-
asking you to steal the eggs. Do not, if she has
Sorry.
eggs, do not take them. I do not trust you to do that. This is a separate mission. It requires far more work. We cannot afford to break the eggs, and you cannot carry eggs and gold at the same time.
You might want to
Understood.
work on your listening skills, chef.
Yes, chef. Can we burn the bridge with the gold dragon, or do we need to remain in good stead?
You're getting a line of credit from the gold dragon. We're going to have to pay it back. I mean, if you kill her, you won't. You'll die. But if you
Yes.
burn the bridge, she'll burn the kitchen.
Noted, chef.
Does that
Okay.
make sense? Do
Yes,
you
that makes
understand
sense,
how
sir.
revenge and retribution works? Do you understand what a creditor is?
I
It
do
made
now,
sense
chef,
to all the
thank
others
you.
of us from the beginning, chef.
Yes, chef.
Someone
Chef,
keep...
why is Kenji being an arsehole, chef?
Chef, it's because I'm... Never mind. I apologize, chef.
Excellent. Now, are there any other questions?
No, chef.
Can I be a waiter afterwards, chef?
And he's gonna burst out in laughter.
Well, we are short some waiting staff.
I promise I'll keep me anger in check.
I will have your companions on this quest give me a performance review of you afterwards. And if they say you have what it takes to be a waiter based on your performances this mission, I will consider it.
Thank you, Chef. You'll not be disappointed by me.
Chef, one more question, if I may, Chef.
Yes?
Regarding setting up my menu for the first time, I had some more questions regarding some of the dishes. Could we maybe, when I come back, have a quick chat about that, Chef?
If you come back and you're successful and you still have a job, we can talk. I have plans. There are great things coming up. There are great things to come, and there may not be room in the immediate future for your plans unless they can be done on the side, but we'll talk. We'll talk. In the
Thank you,
meantime,
Chef. It's an honor.
Goldilocks, the Gold Dragon, the investment banker of Arcadia, lives in the Palisade Mountains near Baku, which lies 3 days north from here in the plains and near the river delta, near the Great Sea. The Gold Dragon lives just outside of Baku in the mountains. I'm sure once you get there, one of the locals can give you directions to her. Here, take these traveling supplies, and he'll grab some packs and place them out in front of you. These have food, water, rations, wine, whatever you need. This will get you to Baku. Here's some spending money. He plops down a bag of 100 gold in front of you. And, well, good luck. Do not fail me like sweet potato fails me. And he points to the meat locker.
Yes,
I look
Chef.
at the bag of gold.
Your trust is not misplaced, Chef.
So, who gets the gold?
I can hold it.
I look at the dwarf.
Surely we would all split the load between us.
No.
What do you mean, no?
I can hold it all. I know I'm new here, but you can trust me. No worries.
That is exactly what someone I wouldn't trust would say.
I'll spit shine it for you. It's all shiny and pretty and nice.
Are you saying my gold is dirty?
Yes.
If we come back from this mission, we'll have a 10,000 gold loan. This bag of 100 gold is not going to matter.
Yes. I'm giving.
And if we don't come back from this mission with 10,000 gold, the gold is also not going to matter.
And how do we know we can trust this person? They've only just joined the restaurant.
Because Cosmo employed her. Or, I'm sorry,
I
is it
pour a
character male or
mean
female?
shot.
All right then, Kenji, I'll follow your lead.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Chef.
man.
I pull
Right.
Angus aside for a second to have a private conversation with him.
Angus will lean in.
This is a fucking disaster, okay? I'm up to my ass in fucking work here. The workload has not gone down. I've been up all night working on my menu. I haven't slept in 17 weeks, and
17?
honestly, I don't know if I can handle this anymore. To go to a dragon and ask for a loan and pick up her scales and ask her about her fertility, I can't fucking do this anymore, okay? I'm losing my mind out here, okay? Now there's
Angus
this weird,
will-
creepy guy who has a skeleton cat walking all over my station, by the way. There's bone dust everywhere. My cleaning duty is increased by so much. I'm running 3 stations at once here. I'm losing my mind. I can't do this anymore.
No. Kenji, you haven't lost your mind. You're finding your purpose. And, like, Angus will reach out and put his hand on Kenji's shoulder and say, just take deep breaths, laddie. When the anger comes, that's what I do.
Deep breaths. That's a really good idea. Deep breaths. And he's gonna reach into his pocket for some gnome dust.
Take
All right,
it.
chefs. We've got a
I
mission. We've all understood the mission. He looks at Bredgar, and he's gonna take a step away from him and continue his speech. Baker guy, Bredgar, really? Bredgar.
Alan Doe. Yes, thank you.
Yeah, for sure. That's definitely your name.
It's just a coincidence, my friend. Trust me. I was as shocked as anyone.
Are you? These skeleton dudes have been in my way all week. Are those coming along on the mission, or?
No, they've got to stay here and keep up on the focaccia.
Yeah, that's what I thought. It's a damn good focaccia shop. I will give you that.
Thank you. You know, I could get some of them to help you out with some of your stuff if you want. I mean, some of it doesn't look too hard.
Kenji is beyond insulted.
Angus will
All
reach
right.
a hand out and put it on Kenji's shoulder again and say, "Be careful what you say, laddie. This one's good with the knives."
Don't worry, Angus. We all are.
Angus will chuckle broadly and then kind of wet his axe.
All right. Okay, so out of character planning real quick. Do we just straight up know where this Goldilocks dragon is located?
No, you
Yes,
got to get
we
to
do.
the town, and the town will give you
Okay.
directions. But you have like a good enough direction that, like, you know,
Okay.
pretty close.
And we won't struggle to find her, I would imagine.
That's the one.
Yeah.
That's the truth. Yeah.
Right.
Before we get going, lads, I just need to go and get something from the meat locker.
Hang on,
Okay.
lad. That's my domain. And I'll follow him.
I walk past the bakery and grab 2 of my skeletons as I head to the meat locker.
Mm-hmm.
I open the door and I'm greeted by what I expect to see is a sweet potato hanging from the rafters.
Yep. Yep.
Ah, good. I was hoping I'd find this. Angus, do you think that Chef would mind if I, there's no point letting it go to waste here?
Oh, well, I was thinking of brewing up a nice stew, but if you've got something better in mind, go right
listen.
ahead, laddie.
Well, why don't you help me cut him down? We can store him in here for now. You can help me butcher, but you can butcher him when we get back. You can have the meat, I'll have the bones. It's all
Oh.
good.
Have you ever made a flesh golem? I'd say he'd make a fine flesh golem.
I've not made a flesh golem, but I have made a flesh bull.
I'd just like to give context to all the new viewers that the body they're talking about is the one of a former player character of ours that we went on an adventure with just a few weeks ago.
Yes. And actually, as you're doing this, you'll notice that underneath. Oh God, I'm so sorry, new viewers. This is gonna get a little dark. Underneath the body, there's a bucket because our last quest involved getting ingredients for these cocktails that Cosmo was gonna make, and one of the ingredients was blood from the darkest heart to make like a really, I can't remember, it wasn't like a spicy margarita, it was something. And
It was a margarita, I think, yeah.
blood from the blackest heart for a rum. Right,
Right,
the
right.
margarita used something else.
Salt from like tears or something.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tears of a broken heart or something. Yeah. So the blood from the blackest heart is being collected from Sweet Potato as it drips into a bucket underneath him for the mixologist to use. Speaking of, I know we're sort of in the middle of your scene right here, Nick, but we're gonna do a quick transition. You are the new mixologist, Jaiden. Last session, we had a whiskey that used a single drop of tears from the heart of a broken innocent as like the spring drop to really bring it out. We had a rum that was made with blood from the blackest heart. We had a vodka sour that used acid from a giant snail. We had drool from the biggest fool for a daiquiri, and salt of courage for a margarita. And I don't think we ended up getting mint blessed by a nature spirit for the mojito.
We did not.
So do you have any unusual concoctions that you make? Any sort of like specialty drinks? You said you pour a mean shot earlier. What are your shots like?
Straight up mysterious weird vodka that it smells a little weird.
What?
No one knows. It tastes different every time you drink it.
What's it distilled
And it's
from?
not quite good.
It's not good.
Is it Moorish at
No.
least? Like, do you want to keep drinking it?
Yeah, like you're like it gets me there. Like faster than anything else, so I'll take it.
It sounds like there's something about it, even though it's bad, that people can't turn down. You just can't really put your finger on
So
it.
like, what was? I gotta try a little bit more. I can't quite do I like this?
And then suddenly you've drank it all, and you're like, I gotta have another.
Yep.
Not even I understand the science behind it. That's what makes a good mixologist. They
Excellent.
have no fucking clue.
It's instinct.
It is.
Okay.
So I like the fact that we're really making use of sweet potato, right? Because we've got his blood for the drinks, we've got his bones for the bread.
This is the most useful he's ever been in this entire campaign.
Yeah, I mean, he's fucking useless the whole time.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yes, brilliant. Angus will help Nick's character, whose name I've already forgotten. He'll help him get the bones down, and he will butcher sweet potato so that he can have the bones.
I think his name was like baking pretzel bread dough or something.
Oh, that's right,
Oh,
Breadgar.
fuck
Breadgar.
Oh dear. All right.
Oh,
okay.
So yeah, we get sweet potato ready for his afterlife service, but I think it's time we head out to the north.
Yes.
Before we head out, Kenji hectically asks like basically everyone in the restaurant to cover one of his 16 stations that he's trying to do right now, and then hectically, like 5 minutes later, heads out with the others.
Okay. The party heads out. It's going to be a 3-day journey along the river to Baku, a little city, real small city, down at the coast. This river leads right to it, and there's like a little river valley, and there's mountains on either side. It's like a pretty idyllic little place. It's got a small wall around it. You've all been through here at some point in time. In fact, some of you might have been hired out of Baku. It's the only like major civilization center for hundreds of miles. Yeah. Any thoughts on what your journey there is going to look like? Do you need protection? Are you the 4 of you well equipped enough to do this on your own? Are you going to take a cart so you don't have to walk? Talk to me about how you might get to this other city.
I feel like Kenji would definitely think that time is of the essence. A cart, I assume, would be faster for us, right?
It's about the same.
All right.
It just means that you don't have to walk and you can carry your own. It can carry your stuff for you.
Kenji wouldn't bother with that then.
No, I do think I'm not so concerned about getting there. I'm more concerned about how we're going to convince a truly good creature to give us money when we're so, awful.
I agree.
All of us.
Did Cosmo say that she's given us credit before?
She's known to give out lines of credit to people. It's sort of her jam. She's got this treasure hoard, and then she invests the treasure hoard in things. She doesn't just like let it sit there like some fool of a dragon might just sit on their gold. No. She puts it to good use.
Okay, chefs, I think what we should do is we should cook her a gift that we can bring to her when we get there.
That is perfect.
What a beautiful idea.
The thing that we are best at is, after all, serving food. So we would be fools not to make use of that. Now, has anyone here served a dragon before? Show of hands.
I look around the group.
Not a hand.
Not to my
Meal.
knowledge.
If I know anything about wooing ladies, we should find out what our favourite meal is and try to make that for her.
Yes. So we probably inherently wouldn't know that much about dragon diets, right?
Absolutely
That's
not.
probably
You
pretty
have heard
arcane
that they
knowledge,
eat
yeah.
rocks, they eat trees, they eat people. Like, you've heard every possible story. Some people just say they don't eat, and they just like chew on things for funsies, and they don't actually need nutrition. It's a pretty wild unknown right now.
Angus
maybe-
is a mountain dwarf. Would he have heard stories about dragons and like their favorite things? Would dwarves have special interactions with dragons because they do a lot of mining and goldsmithing and?
Dragons are a bit of a problem for dwarves. Dwarves have many different types of mines. Copper mines, fine. Iron mines, fine. Granite dwarves who will work with stone, fine. But those dwarves who have been known to work with precious metals or who have found precious metals have often found themselves in contact one way or another with all sorts of creatures who want those precious things, dragons included. Luckily for you, dragons are pretty rare. This is the only dragon that you know of in the area that's consistently around. So there is always the possibility of dragon problems, but they're not common enough to spring up often.
Okay, so yeah, he wouldn't have heard like, oh, the dragons, they love, dwarven children, or they eat some specific thing. That's what they go for when they attack the mines.
Like, you have heard those stories, but now that you're an adult, you think those are just like the tales that they tell children to keep them in line.
Right, okay.
What about?
It's probably not true. They probably don't like dwarven babies. Like, right? That'd be weird. That would be a weird thing to go after, right? That would be.
Do dwarven babies have
weird.
beards?
Just stubble.
You tell me.
It's a really important question. You're the dungeon master. I need you to make the ruling.
Neil, do your job. Make the ruling.
Are they born with beards like little beast men?
They are not. No. I mean, they're born with like a little bit, but it kind of falls out really fast.
Okay.
Like it's that
Baby
initial,
beard,
and then
baby
it.
teeth.
Okay, fair.
What if we get to the lair and we go in there and we ask Goldilocks what her favorite meal is, and then we prepare it for her? This has the advantage of, 1, we get to make her favorite dish, and 2, we can scope the place out for scales and make a plan so that when we come back to deliver the dish, we can execute and steal the scales.
I agree. I do think we should bring some sort of
Appetizer.
little amuse-bouche,
Right.
for her, just to prove that we're fucking excellent cooks.
That's right. And we should also find out if she has any friends, because they might know more about her. That's how I met my first wife, back in the mountains.
So, lads, here's what I'm thinking. We have a baker, we have a mixologist, we have a butcher, and we have a cook. So the first thing I thought, savory tiramisu. The baker can make some really nice dough. The mixologist can make some really nice spirit to soak the little sticks in. And then we top that with like maybe a sort of sausage meat cream, like you would the tiramisu with a normal cream. We dust some nice spices on top. We make it a little, not a big thing or anything, just a little dish for her to try, to show her that we're excellent cooks.
Okay.
If we find a particularly rare meat, I could make some tartare as well. It's one of my specialties.
That would be perfect.
All right.
Yeah, you should probably go and grab spices and stuff from the kitchen before we go.
I think we can probably. We could probably be able to. I guess it's a 3-day journey.
And there's a city right nearby, so you'll be able to pick up supplies once you get to the city.
We'll make it when we're there. Okay.
Okay. All right. Well, let's get on the road. Good idea, Kenji.
Sounds like we're going by foot then, which was the original question.
Yes.
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 Cool.
We
Nice.
got carried away there.
It happens.
Yes, DM.
All right. So we're walking. We're walking over to Baku. And as we're walking, you're talking about these dishes and putting them around. No, actually, that's fine. That's fine. What?
Yeah. When we're walking, I think I want to chat to Jaden. What's your character's name again? Briar?
Briar.
Briar. Because Briar and I have both just arrived at the kitchen, more or less within a few days of each other. So I say, so, Briar, how are you finding it? This place is, I mean, listen, I don't come from a normal background, but this place is pretty crazy.
This shit's nice, man. I grew up under the bridge eating rocks and stones and river sewer water.
What?
The sink water here is fantastic, may I say.
You must have a very refined palate.
Oh yeah, I know. Look, man, eating rocks and branches gives you a wide variety of knowledge for palate. I know
bet.
palate. Well, how about you? How are you finding it?
Well, everyone's quite tall. I'm used to, back from where I'm from, everyone's a gnome, so I'm used to looking people in the eye, and I'm looking at that crotch all day. It's a little bit awkward.
Yeah, lots of crotch gazing
But I've got
a dwarven.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, at least I can look. I mean, how tall is a gnome compared to a dwarf, Neil?
A little bit shorter.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm like chest height.
We can have a civilized conversation with no crotches or ass cheeks.
Yeah. Actually, I've just realized this guy over here is a dwarf as well. We've got some solid mountain people in the party here, and Kenji's a little bit weird. standing so tall.
Yeah, we'll have to try and make him shorter.
Yeah, maybe we could like cut part of his legs off or something.
Yeah, just slap some shoes on the nubs.
Can I get a
I-
perception check on if I hear this conversation?
No, but I could cut part of his shin out
Roll me a perception
and
check.
then like re-sew the rest of the leg back on. I'm pretty sure I could make that work.
No, yeah, and then we can all be, the same
The
size.
same
and
height. Yeah.
Then we're all
Because
comfortable here.
This is another thing because all of the counters in the kitchen, they're too high, right?
Exactly,
So
exactly.
it'd be much easier if everyone else dropped like a foot, so we could bring the counters down.
Yeah, then renovations you can build. We can like revamp things.
Well, because we'll have the money
there's-
as well, won't we, from the dragon? So we can like
Exactly.
renovate.
There's
Perfect.
like no restaurants out there for the dwarves or gnomes, so I think we gotta be the first.
Yeah, we get the short end of the stick, you know.
Yeah, good talk, man. Thanks. I'm feeling much more reassured in my height.
Yeah, no, me too, Good. All right, well, like, it's a long way to walk on such refined
Yeah, we have like
legs.
twice the steps to do, so and they're not really offering to carry any of our shit. So
Yeah, they
Yeah.
are rude. Yeah, humans. They take their legs for granted.
they absolutely do. They
I
don't know
can't
the
yield.
privilege.
Yeah, well, he'll learn soon
entire-
enough.
The reason that Kanji is not hearing this conversation is because he is completely occupied with gushing at Angus about the menu that he's currently coming up with. He's been talking about this for the past 2 hours about these dishes that he's making. He's like going back and forth. Well, I thought I could do like, the Cyclops eye dish that I came up with. That could be really cool. But then I asked myself, okay, do I maybe go out and have enchanted mint on it? That was a really cool idea for those mojitos. That could really bring out the freshness in it. But do we head out and do we maybe look for sea serpent scales and microplane those on top, or what do we? And then he's like asking for opinions and stuff. And I feel like Angus is not really like the type to make like these complex menus.
No.
So
Angus's culinary ability is about suggesting like it needs more salt, maybe a bit of dwarf cheese.
yep.
Every suggestion, like you suggest, like enchanted mint mojitos, and he's like, "Oh man, we could totally use this beautiful mushroom that grows in dwarven caverns, and it would be perfect for it." And that's like the 5th time that he suggested that.
All right.
Okay. Now our 2 new characters are both fresh to the restaurant here. Can I hear a little bit about from one of you and then the other what it was that really brought you here? Like, I know Cosmos hired you for things, but there must have been a standout moment. Like, we'll start with the mixologist here, Briar. What was it that? What was the thing that put you over the top that brought you into the kitchen? Was it? You mentioned something about chaos and like safety, or was it a concoction of yours? Like, what is the thing that really brought you into the fold?
I think what it got me the Cosmos Kitchen invite was I would constantly sit right outside the front opening, the door, and throw rocks at people, and I'd be like, "Don't come over here!" And then Cosmos just like, "Dude, just come inside. Just don't. If you stay in the back, please don't harass any of the people. You're scaring away. We got like 2-star reviews. We've never got that before. I know it's because of you. So just sit in the back, sleep in the bathroom. Just don't bother me, okay? Maybe make a drink for here and there." And I said, "Hell yeah, awesome gig." Scurried in.
Nice.
So
Yes.
like you're a mixologist and you do make really interesting things, but that is not why you were hired. That just happens
No.
to be a convergent skill
I
set.
harassed people.
Got it. Love it. And
I'm
Bredger
imagining
Allen.
that like Cosmo was about to like have her like taken out the back of the restaurant and like executed, and then he like noticed like the bottles hanging off, and then like he tried one of it and he's like, you know what?
Something's there.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Bredger Allen Doe. What about
Yes.
you? What is it that brought you like really here?
Well, like I said, Bredgar's Bakery was, legendary in the gnomish city from which he hailed. And I'm gonna be honest, he's been fighting off invitations from restaurants across the world for a long time. But as a gnome, he likes his home. You know, he doesn't really want to go out into the wider world. And he's comfortable where he was. Unfortunately, you know, once the necromancy stuff started to happen, we started to use more and more, let's say, naturally organic ingredients in the recipes and enchanting them with a little bit of necromancy here and there. There was an unfortunate incident. It turns out there was maybe a little bit too much elf bone dust in one of the loaves that he sent to the gnomish king. And as he was about to tuck into it, the bread started moving around on the table, and he gathered all of his little family there to watch and be like, look at this crazy bread. And I wasn't there, but as I understand it, the bread ate the face of his youngest daughter.
It what?
Ate his face, ate her face. It kind of opened up and just consumed. So obviously
Like a
the news
mimic bread?
Yeah, like a mimic bread. I don't know. Maybe the enchantments went a bit too far. Maybe I shouldn't have mixed the elf dust with the dwarf dust. I'm still figuring things out, but unfortunately, the backlash forced me to accept a job offer and move away.
So you didn't want you. Cosmo had sent you an offer, and you had turned him down in the past until you got run out of town.
Not so much turned him down. I kind of like, you know.
This is your
I
backup
need to
gig.
think about it. I need to think about it. Well, not anymore. But yeah, it was.
Wow. Wow. Have you made it known that this is like not what you wanted to do, but you're settling for this position that other people would kill for?
No, because I think he appreciates the. It's not that he doesn't know that this is the best job in the world. It's just he's quite a homely gnome and likes his, you know, likes his creature comforts back where he's from. Doesn't really want to be in the big human world. So it's not a case that he doesn't appreciate the job. It's just it's a lot for him.
Got it. Well, the question for Kenji and Angus then is, the mixologist was throwing rocks at your customers and is now working in your kitchen. How are you dealing with this?
So, Kenji, very much is about like, if it makes his job easier and if they do their job and if it makes the kitchen run better, he doesn't care, because there's a lot of weird fucking people working at Cosmos, you know?
Yeah.
Him included. And I feel like, from what it sounds like, Bredgar is really good at what he does. But I think all the skeletons and the fucking skeleton cat and shit and the creepy vibes and the arrogant vibes that he gives off still fucks with Kenji, like, a lot. Because, like, you have to imagine, for Kenji, the fact that he's in this job, this is the only thing that he has in his life and will probably ever have in his life. This is his identity, this job, and that if anyone were to suggest that this would be devalued in any way, there would be something better, that is a personal attack towards him. And he definitely gets that vibe from Bredgar and probably hates him for it, but he respects him for the food that he makes. With the mixologist, it's probably similar. I imagine the products are good. He likes it, but the way that she came in, he's seen people get into this job in weird ways and like kind of fall into it, and he's seen crazy people on this job go in and out every single day. So there's probably not that much resentment for it because this character is fucking crazy, and like there's a lot less intent and a lot less emotional things to think about. There is just like, yeah, this is just another crazy person working at the restaurant, so he's probably a lot more cool with that.
Okay. What about you, Angus? You're known for having a wee bit of a temper. How did you react initially when a crazy woman was outside throwing rocks at your customers?
Angus is, to put it bluntly, he's not the sharpest tool in the shed. He's got a -1 to intelligence. So he doesn't really understand like a whole lot of things, but he's very emotionally intelligent, right? So when he saw the girl throwing rocks at the customers, his first reaction was like, oh, she has some sort of, the restaurant's done something to her, it's upset her somehow, and that there's a solution here, right? When he's not in his rage, he's very peaceful, emotionally intelligent. He's like, yeah, do your breathing, laddie. Take a deep breath and we can get through this. That's kind of the way he approaches it. So he if he had an opportunity, he would have approached her and would have, tried to talk her down. It's like, can you stop throwing rocks at the customers and just allow us to do our business? And he's like, what's the matter with you? Are you okay? Because you're acting out and it's a bit weird.
All right. Okay.
So he would have been kind of like, he would have taken a big emotional stance. Now, if she had thrown a rock at him, he would have instantaneously frenzy raged and begin like beating her with chairs.
Got it. But
Because his temper is like a matchstick, right? Someone snaps their fingers at him when they're asking for a waiter. That's it. He's done. Their life is forfeit.
got it. Okay. Cool. I feel like
when it comes to Bredgar, it was kind of a similar-ish thing. He's like, I understand that, laddie, you're doing a job that you don't want to be doing. I'm doing the same. I've always wanted to be a waiter, okay? It's all right to be a baker. It's actually not a bad job. So he would have had that kind of conversation with him.
All right. Cool. Well, your 3-day passes pretty well. You can skirt outside of the Elven Woods, never quite crossing into it. You travel through the woods for about a day and a quarter, day and a half maybe, and then it's like open plains and this gentle valley, and these rivers are converging, and there's like a couple of farms off in the distance, and the little trail that you're following widens into a gentle dirt path, and the whole thing is like a little idyllic. There's some gentle flowing river nearby. It's a warm day. There's birds chirping. There's some like rain in the distance that's causing like a little tiny hard to see rainbow. It's just like a really peaceful and idyllic time as you are making your way towards Baku. Eventually, you can see the smoke from the chimneys and the campfires and the cook fires of the town in the distance. And a little after that, you see the farms get a little bit more intense. There's more of them. They're closer together. There's some pasture land. There's some long fences with goat herds. And then you can see the walls of the city and the bright, colorful flags are flying. And then you can begin to like smell that city scent. What did you call living under a bridge earlier, Jaden?
Oh, did I call it something?
Yeah, I thought you had a
can't
term for, you were, it smells like that. It reminds you of home. It reminds you of that sewage and the
wonderful.
filth. Yeah, like all the animals that come in there and get slaughtered in the open market. Yeah, right. Like all the waste just being dumped into the streets and into the rivers. Like, it just reminds you of home. And soon our party finds themselves in Baku, near to the dragon. Now on this journey, we're going to be having to stay somewhere. You can camp out in the woods and on the grasses for a while, but when you're in Baku, it's too dangerous to sleep in the streets. Someone's going to hit you with a wagon, someone's going to steal your stuff. So the party is going to have to find a place to stay here while you make your plans. And so we will make our way. Oh, yeah, go ahead.
When we get to the city, Bradgar is kind of taken aback, having thought that the village that Cosmo's Kitchen was in was a bustling human settlement. The sight of this great city rising over the horizon fills him with a sense of dread. And he tugs on the sleeve of Angus and says, Angus, what is this place? Have you been here before? Some sort of maze.
Angus will he will look like he was deep in thought, and then he'll snap out of him like, "What? Where are we? Are we safe?" Because he was like completely daydreaming. Laddie, this is just a town. Have you never been in a town before?
I only left my underground home a week ago.
Angus will like look down at the gnome. I see. This must have been how the humans felt when I came down. Angus will like reach out to put his hand on the gnome's shoulder, and then he's not quite able to reach, so he has to like kneel just a little bit, and then put his hand on his shoulder, and just say,
Thanks.
"It's all right, laddie.
Thank
you
you,
get
Angus.
overwhelmed, just take a deep breath into your little gnome lungs, okay, and feel the cool air of the city. Smell that. That's the smell of unwashed human masses. Get used to it."
That does start to make me feel better. I cuddle my skeletal cat and stroke it as a emotional support animal. As I walk
I would
towards
like
the
to
city.
pet. I would like to ask if I can pet the skeletal cat, and I also don't know
course.
what it feels like to pet a skeletal cat? Is it actually
Well, have you ever
nice?
stroked a bone before? Because that's what it feels like.
Well, never mind.
You know, I pet the cat and I move on with my day.
It does feel like that. Uncomfortable.
All right.
All right. You make your way into our new city of Baku. And sure enough, you can find an inn here. It's called Days Gasteus. Gasteus. Days Gasteus is the name of the inn here. And our party can come on in, sit down. You can pay out some of that 100 gold that you've got for an inn for a couple of days as you figure things out. And now's a great time to locate this dragon and figure out how you're going to get some money from it, if you can get any of its eggs, if it has eggs, if it might be looking for eggs, if it's got some scales. Go for it, party.
It started in the inn. Is like the inn probably has like a kitchen, right?
Yes.
Are like the kitchen sounds from the inn audible? Do I hear like pots and pans and people?
Totally. Well, as you walk
talking?
into the front area, and because there's like a little common room, and then there's the inns that are out back and a little bit upstairs, and the kitchen's on the other side. But it's hot in there, and there's no such thing as fans. Fans aren't invented, so you just need to have doors and windows open. So all the sounds and smells and heats and humidities from the kitchen are like wafting out into the common room. It's very normal.
Kenji's immediately by all these is immediately stressed out and he feels like he's at work again, and it's fucking with him. So he's trying to get out of here. Is the
It's all right. Kenji, have something to eat. I take out a little Tupperware, and inside the Tupperware are 4 muffins. And it's like a blueberry muffin, but instead of blueberries, it's like small eyes. And I will hand you one and say, have one of these, you'll feel better.
I'm not hungry, thank you. Kenji's gonna turn it down.
Damn.
Angus
gonna
will
wow.
also take out some bread. Now, to Breadguard, this does not look like bread. It looks like rocks.
The disgrace.
And he'll say, I made some homemade dwarven bread for a trip. It keeps very well. And he'll break off pieces to the party, but normally when you break a piece of bread, you just twist and a bit of bread comes off. Angus is like screaming as he snaps this thing to snap a chunk of the bread off, and then puts it into his mouth, and you can hear him chewing. It's like ice cubes. It's as he eats the bread.
Wow.
Kenji is gonna take a piece of it and he's gonna crush up some of his gnome dust with it, and then that's his dinner. Kenji would like to walk over to the bar. And order a drink. Just an ale. He's an ale kind of guy. They make ale over here, right?
They do make and sell ale over here. Our party can come on over.
And he's probably gonna call over the barkeeper. What kind of character is this, Neil? Who are we looking at?
Well, let me roll my d6. Our barkeeper is a young boy. He's got to be maybe 17 years old, if that. He's got the pimples on the lower neck. He's really trying to grow in the beard, but he hasn't shaved it at all because he doesn't want to lose even the tiniest bit of hair, and so it's completely gangly. And he's got that thin face, and the hair's kind of greasy and unkempt. It's probably just from the kitchen, right? And he comes on over and he's like, "Hi, welcome to Days Gasteus. How are you doing?"
Nice to meet you, son. I'm Bredgar.
Hi.
These people could really work on their front of house. Listen, lad. We're in here for business, okay? We're looking for a dragon, Goldilocks. You know anything about
Don't
her?
you want a beer or a drink? We're doing a special
I'll
on
have a
white
flagon.
wine.
Briar will also have a beer.
Angus will ask for a flagon of dwarven ale.
Oh yeah, that's just dwarf. Ale served by a dwarf, right? I can get a dwarf for you. Hey, Jimmy!
Angus will actually look so
Jimmy!
incredibly offended at the suggestion that dwarven ale is just ale served by a dwarf.
Yeah,
And he'll
you
just
see
say,
a
I'll
dwarf
just
come out
have
of
a
the kitchen.
water, lad. I'll just have water.
I don't
Be
know how to
glad it's
make
only that.
that. Well, how do you make water?
Oh
Is that
my fucking God.
his patience is being touched to the limit. You can see him like gripping the table. He's like, "I'll be all right, lad. I'll be all right."
Oh, you
like-
just you just mean like the water we use to make the beer? Are you sure? Like you really
Angus will
want
go
to drink
silent
that,
and stop answering him.
buddy? All right. Okay, here, Dale for you. A white wine for you. What did you want? No,
Oh,
buddy.
a beer, please. Thank you.
Beer for you. All right. Well, welcome to Daz Gassus.
Don't say it
Yeah,
again.
yeah. Welcome. Yeah. Drinks. Blah blah blah. Okay, listen, kid. All right, we're trying to. Fuck. I'm in my. Listen, I got so. You have no idea how much stress I am. Okay, I have so much fucking shit to do right now. It's unbelievable. I have this menu that I'm working on. Okay, there are 4 stations that I'm supposed to be at work right now, this second, that are being manned by fucking idiots. Okay,
Oh,
like if you think
no.
these people here are bad, if you think, anyway. We need to go to Goldilocks. We need to find the dragon. Okay, what do you know? Where do you know where do you know where she is? Do you know what's
oh
up?
yeah,
We
of
also
course.
Okay. Are you gonna tell me?
Oh yeah, you want to know too? Oh yeah. Well, if you go out of town, like to the west, there'll be like a big signpost, and it says Goldilocks Investment Bankers this way, and then you just follow that trail, and like then you'll see another signpost when it gets splits, and then you just keep following the signs, and there's like a big archway before you get to the mountains, and then like I think it's that way. I think you just
All right.
What?
Okay, listen, kid. Have you ever met someone who's been to Goldilocks, who's talked to her, who's tried to get like something from her? Is that ever? Have you ever you come across a lot of people here, right? There's a lot
Oh,
of people
I
coming
sure
around here,
do.
right? Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I've heard about people going to visit her, but you know, I haven't talked to many people on the way back. You know, I get a lot of first-time customers in here because we're just a way station. Uh-huh. It's a real shame.
But you've never talked to someone who's come back from Goldilocks.
Well, I mean, there was like a gnome who came through here a couple weeks ago, and he had a whole bunch of people with him, and they were all gonna go to Goldilocks, and he promised on the way back he was gonna share with me a secret magic meal, but yeah, I think I saw him in town afterwards, but they didn't come back here. I don't know why.
Sweet potato, that fucking idiot. Okay. Whew. All right. Well, I think it's pretty clear. Guys, I think we shouldn't waste a lot of time unless you guys want to find out more from this kid.
I'm a
We-
man.
Yeah,
Every
yeah,
moment
yeah.
I spend in the presence of this child is a waking nightmare. Can we please get the hell out of here?
Sound just like my dad.
We've been on the road for 3 days. We can't have a drink and a nice sleep.
I
I'm
agree. I
rolling,
think this guy's awesome.
Well,
Yeah, I
thank
like him.
you.
I'm sorry about these two. They've been real grouchy the whole way over here.
Angus is rolling a constitution save to see if he cannot snap into a rage. Yep, he makes
Oh,
it.
thank God. High numbers are good,
Nice.
low numbers are bad.
All right. Okay, I guess I could probably use some rest. He looks around knowing that he's not going to sleep tonight. What time is it, Neil? In game?
Oh, it's pretty late in the afternoon. You know, the sun's beginning to set. It's summer, and so that means, you know, if the sun is setting, it's probably like 8 or 9.
And we probably can't expect like markets to be open so we can buy some ingredients for this dish.
Tomorrow morning.
Yeah. Okay. I think we should get some.
When I'm
rooms
having
and-
my beer, I will come over to Kenji and I'll scoot up on a stool next to him and I'll say, "Hey, buddy, how's it going? I feel like maybe we got off on the wrong foot."
How's it going? Are you seriously asking me how it's going right now?
I just had a thought, you know. I know that you're a fan of the gnome dust. No judgment. You ever thought maybe smoke a little bit of that goblin weed? that might sort of like pull you back the other way, like help you chill out a little bit? Because you like really, it's like it's high energy. I get it, but it's intense and it's making me nervous. And I think that Briar is feeling it too. And if I'm honest, I think Angus is feeling it too. And you know, this is obviously my first mission with you, and I only just met you, and I'm not trying to come in on your process or whatever. But I just think, for your sake, and for our sake, and for Morty's sake over here, if we could just,
Angus will interrupt
chill
and
out.
say, just want to stop you there, lad. I'm a big boy. I can talk for myself. Don't ever interject your feelings onto me ever again. Now, I'll forgive you because this is the first time. But if it ever happens again, we will have a problem. All right? I'm a big boy.
You'll have a problem.
What was that? And Angus will lean forward, like this.
I didn't say nothing, Angus. Listen, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to get everyone to have a nice time here. That's all. You know, me and Snuffles here. We just wanna. We've been on the road. It's been a lot of upheaval for me personally, and I'd just like to relax a little bit.
I think you should open your mind a bit more. Maybe we could start baking some bread with that pixie dust. Kenji, do you have any spare that we can make?
I don't know what you're talking about. Kenji's gonna do a little technique that he's learned to calm himself down when shit's going down in the kitchen. And he's gonna take a couple deep breaths and he's gonna rub his chest. And he's gonna be like, and he's gonna say, "Okay, chef, I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I yelled at you. I'm just in the weeds right now. It's not you. Shut the fuck up. It's just very stressful back at the restaurant. I'm working on this fucking menu, and now I'm on a mission to get 10,000 gold. We'll say this very loudly. From the dragon.
I get it, but you know, Cosmo, he said that this was really important, and maybe if we can do this for him, we'll save the restaurant, and he'll love you. You're clearly the leader here, Kenji.
I don't know how you're so calm. If we don't succeed, we lose our jobs. I won't be able to be a waiter. That's all I've ever wanted to be.
I get it. I think we're gonna succeed.
Do you? Do you get it? It doesn't bloody well seem like you do. You're sitting here on your little chair with your little booties, acting like there's nothing wrong, when Kenji's clearly losing his bloody mind.
Thank you, chef.
I was trying to comfort Kenji, but you know what? Next time, I just won't bother. I take my drink.
Yeah, maybe it would be better if you didn't, because you're not very good at it.
As
I can walk to a different table.
As the gnome hops off the stool and begins to walk away, up comes a merchant-looking person who goes, "Did I hear someone's looking for 10,000 gold?" And I think this is where we're going to take our first break. We'll come back on the other side in about 5 or 10 minutes with a little more Cosmo's Kitchen. See you soon. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Cosmo's Kitchen. So here we are in this inn. What was that inn called? Something?
Days Gazumpha.
The Groggy Fork.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Excellent.
The Lonely Gnome.
Mm-hmm. And this merchant shows up saying, I heard you're looking for 10,000 gold.
We are, laddie. Are you offering?
Well, no one just offers 10,000 gold up front like that.
Of course not. Do you think I'm a simpleton? No, I'm only joking with you. What is your actual offer?
Well, I'm a merchant. I hear business being talked, and I like to introduce myself. Greetings. My name is Grizzy. It's nice to meet you. Who are you all?
Grizzy? Isn't that a dance move?
No, I think it's a type of sausage. I'm Kenji. Nice to meet you, Grizzy.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Kenji.
Have you perhaps heard of Cosmo's Kitchen?
I have. The fantasy kitchen where your wildest culinary taste can come true and you can sample exotic meats, the likes of which most chefs would balk at.
Even things you can't imagine, lad. Things you couldn't even comprehend. That's what we make there.
My.
Yes.
And what was your name, angry little one?
Did you say I'm little? Oh.
Well,
I'm Angus Boucher. I'm a butcher. I need to take a moment, and Angus will kind of walk off into the corner and breathe.
Oh,
Finds
Angus,
himself
you want to talk to me?
near the gnome.
You want a muffin?
He looks between the line chef and the mixologist and turns to the mixologist. And you, fair dwarf?
Oh, I'm Briar. Don't worry. You can call him Little. He's just got a problem. Don't worry about it.
He's got
Well,
some insecurity issues.
Yes, it's a pleasure to meet you all. How maybe we could work something out.
So, hold on. Are you saying you have 10,000 gold available to you?
I'm saying I know people who have money and I can help facilitate for a percentage. There's all sorts of transactions of different kinds.
Can we see it? Where is it?
Oh, you're serious?
Yeah.
I can't
I
show
don't
you
believe
my
in
friends.
money that I can't see.
I see.
That's a good approach.
Yeah.
Well, if you change your mind, I'll be sitting back at that table over there. Ta-ta.
Lizzie,
Yes.
me and my colleagues were planning to head on over to Goldilocks to ask her for a loan.
Yes.
This was our plan. Do you have any experience working with Goldilocks?
No, but one of my business partners used to. Goldilocks has quite a bit of money. She doesn't always like to leave it to enforce her contractual terms. So she often prefers to have some sort of collateral, so that she knows you will pay up. Her investments are pretty reasonable. Her interest rates are low. She lives a long time. But my business partner did have to leave with her, his husband and his favorite dog until he could pay back the debts.
I see.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of breed was the dog? Was it cute?
I believe he was a Cocker Spaniel.
Oh, that's
Cute
a good
dog.
one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So we know
Okay.
Goldilocks likes dogs.
Interesting.
Someone
So,
write that down. I'm writing that down
yeah.
on my palm.
Kenji will write down dog tartar ? All right, Grizzy. That's good information. And just from you personally, between you and me,
Yes.
would you recommend we go to Goldilocks?
Isn't it nicer to work with people instead of fearsome, fire-breathing, scale-covered, winged fiends who could destroy your entire family in a heartbeat?
Well, I work with humans that are like that, so I'm not sure. Regardless,
Is that what
Thankfully-
Cosmo's Kitchen is like?
you know, it's a tough business, okay? You gotta be tough in a tough business like that.
Well, maybe, maybe there's work to be done between us, maybe not, he says, taking a step back. We like our money safe, so let me know if you change your mind or change your company. And he quickly beats a retreat after hearing about the viciousness of your work colleagues.
That's what I thought.
Angus will make his way back over to Kenji after the Glizzy leaves and ask him, alright, what did he offer? Could it save our bacon?
No, he was gonna scam us.
A scammer? How was he gonna scam us?
I don't know, but as soon as I mentioned that we had colleagues that were fierce and aggressive, he immediately bit the dust. He immediately fucked off, which means that He was probably gonna fuck us over, and he got scared of fucking us over as soon as he heard what we're like.
Angus will like look around the bar and say, "Or he's just a normal man who's not a hero and is a bit terrified of the group of extremely powerful warriors that are standing in the bar threatening him."
Possible. It's very possible. I just don't know if that sort of person also goes up to those people and offers them copious amounts of gold.
Depends on what he wants us to do.
Good point. Regardless, I think we should rest soon. We have a dish to make tomorrow, and we have plans. So we should all. His eyes are like darting around like crazy. We should all take a rest.
Aye, laddie. We could all use a nice sleep.
All right. And I think with that, the party can bed down to sleep. Unless anyone has anything they want to do tonight for some reason before everyone rests in the inn.
Does the inn have like a 24-hour kitchen?
No, it doesn't. It closes when the sun sets.
Yeah, okay. Then Kenji's gonna attempt to sleep, I guess.
Mm.
I think. Sorry, go ahead, Jade.
Oh, okay. Can Briar attempt to smuggle as much alcohol as he can from the bar?
Like, when you say smuggle, you mean steal?
Yes,
Or-
absolutely.
Yeah.
Take without
so
permission.
if you open up your character sheet, you'll see in like the second column from the left, there's like a box of skills. And we're going to want you to make a stealth check to see if you can like get up to the bar, like find an opportune time and like sneak your way up to the bar without anyone noticing. And you just need to click the
Ooh.
text on that stealth there.
Wait, where's my character sheet? Sorry.
That's a great thing. If you hold shift and double click on your token's face, it'll open your character sheet for you.
Oh, I didn't
Wait,
know that.
that actually
I
worked?
didn't know that.
This is
Wait,
like
shift
secret
and
technology.
then click where?
Oh,
This
on
is
your
in the game, right?
character.
Yeah. In Roll20, if you double click on your token while holding shift, it should open up a character sheet.
Oh,
If
shit.
not, it's in the journal tab, which I'll just
Okay.
send you a
So it's
quick-
in the token settings.
No, you got to hold shift while you
Oh.
double click.
Oh, I just did single click. Oh, there it is. Okay.
Yeah, and then character sheet is the tab at the top, and then you can see there's like two columns, and there's the skills column right next to all of your stats. And down towards the bottom, since they're alphabetical, you'll see a stealth, which I think it should be checked here. There we go.
Stealth. It says 6.
That's it. Click on the text next to that, and it'll roll a 1d20 plus 6. High is good, low is bad. 12 is pretty middle of the road in terms of stealth checks. And so you'll be coming on over towards the bar. I think everybody else is like heading towards bed. It's getting on towards nighttime. Get some nighttime background music to really, set the mood here in this wonderful, peaceful, brightly colored, and now somewhat sleepy town. The barkeep is gone, and as everyone's like leaving, you start making your way to the bar. You wait till everyone's out of sight, and you come on up to it. But as you're getting to the bar and beginning to look around, because the 12 is like a success, but like it's not a great success. As you get here, you start to hear voices from the kitchen, and you hear distinctly someone saying like, "Get the cleaning vinegar from underneath the bar." And you're gonna have to make some sort of maneuver, because you're lurking behind the bar. You're probably like back here in this part of it when you hear this voice coming from over here. What is your what are you gonna do? Because they're gonna pop out this door in any moment and see you behind the bar. What's your plan? What's your move?
Okay. So I'm gonna act. My mentality is to hide behind the swinging. Oh wait, the door swings out. Yeah, I'm gonna hide behind the swinging door, thinking it goes outwards, but it doesn't. So I'm just standing against the wall, and then I just stand there.
You just stand there. The barkeep comes out. He sees you behind the bar, and he looks at you and goes, excuse me? Oh, can I help you, miss?
Are you open?
Like conversationally, yeah, like a lot of people don't really try to talk. I don't know. I always have a hard time making friends, so yeah, I'd love to chat. How's it going?
Yeah, man. How's your relationship with your father like?
Oh, he's like really disappointed in me. My father's a knight, and he like has slayed all sorts of creatures, and he goes on these like campaigns, and he does all these like.
How does that make you feel as a bartender?
That my dad does all these great things, and I'm just a bartender. How does that make me feel?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he's always saying, like, he's super disappointed in me, and I'm like ruining the family name. But I think that life is about being happy in the moment and, like, not worrying about, futures or getting the 401,000 goblins killed. He's always talking about his 401ks, and it's just like, I don't want to plan for that.
Yeah, well... You know what would impress him? What I think you should do to prove your might? Attempted murder of him.
What?
Yeah. If he realizes that you can kill him, you're top dog, top alpha of the family. Don't you want that? The power?
I mean, I don't really want to kill
I think
him.
you should go do that. And he like pushes them out, like shoves them towards the exit.
Yeah, you can like push him towards the exit, and you find him a very willing participant in this exercise.
Yeah.
Like a very person. Okay, sure. I'm just gonna
just grab like a sharp thing of glass outside on your way over there, and make sure to swing overhand, not underhand.
Okay, I'm just
All
gonna.
right.
I'll see you later.
Good luck, man.
And he runs off into the night. Cool. So the bar's open, and I think you can go over here and begin ransacking it. You're gonna find all sorts of bottles. They're just labeled wine, beer, vodka, other vodka, other ale.
Vodka.
Yeah.
Is there like a maximum amount of bottles I can handle, or
Whatever you can
like...
carry in your arms. Like how many bottles could you?
Maybe like six or
8?
seven big old bottles.
Yeah, totally.
I think I'll take one of everything. Okay, so there's like 5 categories, and then like 2 bottles of other vodka.
Nice. Now,
yeah,
as a mixologist yourself, and as a person who's worked in a business before, these bottles are going to be noticed that they're missing. You're taking 2 armfuls of booze with you. Someone's going to spot this is gone like immediately. Is this a concern? Do we care? Do we care at all?
I'm gonna shuffle the bottles around so it looks like it's full, but it's very much like stuff is taken behind. But I'm just trusting that the employees don't care enough to really look that hard.
Got it. Because it's like a 30-foot long bar, and so there's a lot of stuff back here. And if you just mix it around, maybe it's not a gap. It's just a little. Got it. Okay, cool.
Works on me.
All right. And you can take your armfuls of booze over to your room. Is this just for you? Or are you like throwing a party for your party tonight?
I'll present it to the party, but not in a way that's like, hey guys, look what I got for us. I just want praise.
Wait,
Are you having a party?
Is that the drinks from the bar?
Yes, it is. I'm so glad you noticed. Aren't you proud?
Did you buy
I
those?
thought I could only hold like last time I tried this, I only held 5 bottles, but I'm up to 7 now.
Bria's a genius. We can use this for a meal and give it to Goldilocks.
Oh yeah, that too.
You're
Is
so
it-
clever.
did you-
Well done. You're
did you
a
pay-
damn fine asset to the organization.
Did you pay for these?
Yes.
Wait, why wouldn't she pay for them?
Yeah.
We're honest, upstanding citizens.
Mm-hmm.
Can I roll insight to
are
see
you-
if I can see that
Yes.
she's lying?
Yes, roll me an insight versus her passive deception. So this
Kenji,
is
I don't think
the
it's good for the party morale to be questioning us. It feels a little bit, I don't know. I feel like we should have a bit more trust between us. And I'll put my
That's
hand
what
on
I'm
Briar's.
saying.
Dwarves are very
Kenji.
honest creatures. You know, we don't like thieving.
You know what? I don't give a fuck. Okay, I'm just sure. Great bottle. Good job.
She-
You got the bottles.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Yes,
right.
thank you suffices. Thank you.
Briar has a
You did a good
0
job.
in deception, and so Kenji, you can not care, but you can tell that this is a
Yeah.
lie.
Yeah. I just don't. I can't be asked. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
Alright,
sitting
well-
over here now. I'm sitting over here. Thank you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I thought that was an
Polly doesn't want to
accident.
hang out with me, so I'm sitting in the corner.
Oh.
On the crates.
Oh.
I'll
Maybe it's
approach
this-
the gnome
Whoa.
and I'll
What
walk
is
up
that?
to him.
Angus,
And
now
I'll
you want to
say-
talk to me, do you?
I apologize for how I acted earlier. I have a bit of a temper, and I said things I didn't mean to say. Us smaller folk should stick together, especially when we're in this precarious situation. And look, I won't hold the things we said between us against you if you don't hold them against me. And I truly am sorry if I hurt your feelings, and I'd love for you to come back and come join the party, and we'll have maybe a drink before we go to bed. What do you say?
That sounds really good, Angus. Thanks. I go to give you a hug.
Angus will give him a little hug, and a little dwarf tear will well in his eye.
You know, the thing is, everyone always sees the bones and the necromancy, and they think I'm this like real, like evil, angry guy. But it's just not. I never
No.
even meant to get into this. I just like
No,
baking.
you
things.
didn't.
I
You
know.
didn't choose this. It chose you. And
Right.
Angus is like on his knee beside the gnome, like hands on his shoulder, staring him in the eye. And he's like, "It's not what people think of ye that makes you good or bad. It's what's in your heart, little man. All right?
Thanks,
Everyone
Angus.
thought I was a terrible chef, thought I was a terrible waiter because I lose my temper. But I tell you what, I'm probably one of the best waiters in the world. It's the customers that are wrong, right? So don't listen. Don't listen to what people say, right? You're a good
ve-
man. I've
you're
had
very
your bread.
wise.
It's beautiful.
You
You're
think?
good at your job and you deserve a lot of praise. Okay, I know. I don't think. All right, I know.
Do you think that maybe you could say something to Kenji for me? Because I'm just like really feel like maybe he hates me now, and he's like really quite scary.
I don't mind him. I'll sort him out. Don't worry. I'll talk to him about you, and I'll go.
Thanks,
I'll,
Angus.
I'll talk to Kenji. I'll say, Kenji, look, man. The gnome. He's not really a city boy. He's never really left the mountains and the hills. He's fresh off the wagon. So maybe cut him a bit of slack. You remember how it was when you came into town, and
He's
when you first
spoiled, is
started at
what he
Cosmos.
is.
Look,
He's a spoiled brat.
totally.
He uses magic to achieve what I worked really hard for all my life. And he gets
Kenji.
this position. He's not even grateful.
Kenji, you're allowed to feel that way, but everyone deserves a chance. Sure, didn't Cosmo himself give you a chance? And
That's right,
look
Chef.
at what you've done. You've become incredible. You've developed an insane skill. You could do the job of 16 men with no help. Maybe we could make this boy flourish together. We could turn him into a real baker, turn him into a real asset for Cosmo. And you know what? If we finish this mission and we come back with 2 well-trained staff, we might even get promoted.
Oh, nice. Just what I needed. Another job.
No, you could get promoted to the where you tell people what to do. You don't have to do it yourself anymore.
No, you're right. I was too hard on him. It's
No,
okay.
it's okay.
It's a lot, right? I'm really in the weeds right now, man. It's just a fucking lot, and
Kenji,
there's a dragon.
no one
and
understands.
I can't figure out this fucking menu item with the fucking griffin wings. I don't know what we're gonna fry them in. I don't know what we're gonna do for the batter. It's a mess. We don't even have the right dishes for it, and I'm so fucking tired. And also, every time I go to my station, it's a huge mess, and I'm not gonna be able to do this for much longer, Angus. I'm not gonna lie. I think I'm gonna die soon. I think my days are numbered. Okay.
I know how you feel. I wake up every day with those same feelings. And then when I have my axe in my hand and I start cutting up that meat, I tell you what, I go to my happy place. Kenji, where's your happy place? Can we go there right now? Tell me, when do you feel happy?
Kenji's gonna close his eyes and he's gonna do the motions of chopping vegetables.
That's right, lad. What are you chopping? Is it a carrot? What's your favourite vegetable?
Onions.
Onions. Is that because you want to cry, Kenji? Are you ready to cry? I'll cry with you if you need me to.
Kenji's gonna get up and leave.
All right. Well, it sounds to me like Briar has a bunch of booze for herself. Kenji is disgusted with the party and life in general. The gnome feels a little more welcome, and Angus is surprisingly in touch with his emotions. He's like
Yes,
a surprisingly well-rounded person who like has his shit together and is just working on his anger management issues. I'm very impressed with you. All right, well, the party can bed down for the night. It'll pass, and in the morning, you'll wake up to the roosters and the city bells and all the noise and bustle, and you're reminded of the tasks at hand. Dragon, gold, eggs, scales. Oh, man.
Yeah.
Kenji is up extremely early, basically by the time the rooster's crying. He's getting everyone out of their rooms. He's waking everyone up. All right, folks, we got to go to the market. I spent all night writing a shopping list that we need for the tiramisu. I have instructions for everyone from where to go and what to look for. He hands everyone a note that's the handwriting is barely legible, but you can kind of make out like a little shopping list. We're gonna have to throw that together. Then we're gonna have to find a place to cook this dish, and then we're gonna have to go to the dragon. Okay, everybody clear? Everybody clear on their instructions? Everybody clear on their jobs? Any questions? What do you guys want? Why are you guys looking at me like
Angus
that?
will snap to like a dwarven military position and say, "Yes, chef."
Yes, chef.
Yippee!
That's the spirit. All right.
Angus. Are we splitting up?
You can come with me, laddie. Don't worry. It's your
Thank
first
you.
time in the big city. You stick with me.
Okay. I'm worried about getting stepped on.
Okay.
Oh, I'll tell
Kenji
you
is-
what, laddie. Some people do enjoy that, but that's not a usual thing in the city.
Oh my.
Kenji's given everyone a shopping list. And meanwhile, Kenji would like to try to find a kitchen that we can use. What would be...
Now, that's a very unusual request, right? There aren't really rentable kitchens. That's not like
Yeah.
a thing that's around. So you're going to have to find a place with a kitchen, easy enough to do. And then you're going to have to sell someone on the fact that you're going to use their kitchen for a period of time and their ingredients. And you know how people can be possessive of their kitchens. Like, this is not necessarily like an easy ask. This is odd. In addition to the possessiveness, it's just like a really weird out there. Like, imagine if someone came to your house and said, "Can I borrow a pair of your shoes?"
Yeah.
And you're like, "I mean, I suppose I could lend you my shoes, but that's weird, and I feel uncomfortable by this ask."
Okay.
Well,
Does Kenji... Okay. Where did Briar store the booze that he stole? That they stole? I still don't know what the gender of your character is. Sorry.
I don't know either.
Okay. Cool.
I think they just stuff it down their shirt.
Okay. Well,
That's
shit.
2 armfuls of booze. You can't. You just like
The shirt is stretched out. Yeah.
that's gotta weigh like dozens of pounds. It's gotta be heavy.
They do it anyway. That's all they know.
All right, done.
All right. Well, shit. There goes that plan. Okay.
Do we know any ex-workers from Cosmos who might have opened up shop here? Maybe we could call in a favor.
Okay. Actually, I think that's a good question. Actually, yeah. Is that a thing, Neil?
former Cosmos workers who have opened a shop in our new town. There is indeed a...
Wasn't there that Arakara that opened up the chicken tacos place?
What? I love the idea, but I have no idea what you're talking about.
I don't know. That's just some fancy 5e stuff.
What's his name? You know that Jogwin, the hunter who helped you track down that unicorn, ended up leaving the area and has moved out here. And
Wait, was that Tirzu's character?
that was
Yeah.
Tirzu's character.
The guy
yes.
who witnessed us kill a unicorn in front of a small child?
Who used a small child as bait to lure a unicorn so you could murder it? Yes. Jogwin has moved out to Baku. And Finnegan, the kobold dishwasher, eventually couldn't handle the crap that everyone was giving them. Also, turned out they had like 6 dozen children because kobolds they breed pretty fast, and had to move out here to wash dishes in town. Hopefully, just as a temporary thing for like a year while the little pups grow into adults. Because kobolds also, they come to age really, really fast, and so they're on leave from Cosmo's kitchen down here.
I think we can
Okay.
call in a favor. I mean, Cosmo's name's got to mean something in this town.
True, there must be some like up and coming restaurants.
Ooh. There's definitely got to be a chef in this town who'd love to work for Cosmo. And he let
Yeah.
us use his kitchen. Although I tell you what, looking around this town, these people don't know how to clean. I'd say we're going to have to scrub that kitchen from top to bottom.
Well, I'm starting to think. Okay, I think we don't need a kitchen to make this dish. Tiramisu is like one of the easiest. Cause like, we don't really have to cook any. Well, I guess we have
Well,
to.
I
bake
need to
the-
Hang on now.
Yeah, to bake the fingers.
Okay, yeah.
I would like
But-
to stop you there, lad. We're cooking for a dragon, okay?
You're right.
Imagine you were cooking for a bloodhound with 10 times 1,000 better sense of smell. If there's even one grain of bread in this meal that's wrong, she'll smell it. We have to
Right.
roll the best dish we've ever made in our lives.
I just thought as well. How big do we have to make this thing?
Well, it's an amuse-bouche, right? It could be a bite-sized little thing, a complex little bite. I think I'm good at those, but we obviously have to scale it up for a dragon. Do we actually know how big Goldilocks is? I guess not, huh?
No, we haven't seen her yet.
Fuck. Well,
I think the way it works is dragons. And I might just be speculating here, so someone stop me if they think I'm wrong. But dragons love gold, alright? But they don't care how big the individual piece of gold is. And I think it might be the same with food. If the food is nice enough, even a morsel would be enough to satisfy her taste buds.
Maybe.
That makes
Maybe.
sense to me.
all right.
Thank you very
I think I
much.
agree. I think we should make what would be considered a normal portion of tiramisu
For a group or for one person?
for one person.
Alright.
Because if anything, if Goldilocks just gets a bite and it's fantastic and it's amazing, if it's so little, she'll want more,
I
right?
want more. Yeah.
The first taste that's free. Isn't that right, Kenji?
That's right.
Hey, well, if the only thing we need to cook is the ladyfingers, back in my bakery, people used to ask to use my oven all the time to roast chickens and lamb legs and things like that. I'm sure I could find a bakery here that would let me use their oven for just a few ladyfingers.
We need a way to make the savory, meaty cream that would be like the equivalent of the mascarpone in the tiramisu.
It's going to be pretty hard before an immersion blender.
That's true.
Angus will laugh and say, I can chop anything as fine as you need it. And he'll take out his specialty
Wow. Nice.
cleavers.
Yeah.
And he will, he'll pull out a small piece of dwarven bread, and you'll just slowly watch him over the course of 2 or 3 minutes Like he's having it, but he just keeps having it and having it and having it until it's like the finest grained dwarven powder bread. And he like pinches it and does like the Salt Bay thing. It like bounces off his elbow, but it's like dust, so it just clings to his thing.
Why is it stinking it?
No, it sticks to his elbow. Sorry, for God's sake.
Yes.
I just
It'll stick to his elbow, and he'll say, "As fine as you need it, I can make it."
All right. So I think if we can find a bakery, I think we're gonna be okay. If we can cash in a favor with them somehow.
Well, the party can set out looking for a bakery, and a bakery that might be willing to let you use their kitchen. Oh,
no,
what
I
a
will
good
say, yeah, that is relatively common back in the day.
that you could
For bakeries to rent out their ovens, which is why in England everyone eats a roast on a Sunday, because on a Sunday all the bakers would be at church, so they wouldn't be baking any bread, and everyone would drop off their chickens and their lamb legs at the baker's oven.
Oh.
It would roast during the church service, and then you'd pick it back up on the way home from church.
This
Wait, but
sounds
if-
super made up.
It sounds
true.
super made up because you'd have
Somebody-
to feed the oven with fuel. It doesn't have a gas line going to it. You'd have to continually add wood or coal to the fire. So who is there feeding the oven during the church services?
It's just an hour. It's just an hour, isn't it? Listen, somebody told
Wouldn't
me
the
that. and
ambient
It makes
heat
me
do
happy
it?
to believe it. So
Okay, all right,
I'd
that's
appreciate
fair.
it if you
All
didn't
right.
question it. Okay, thank you.
I'll believe it. Yeah, sure enough, you find a dwarf named Cal, who is a baker, and he'll look at you and be like, "Hey, laddie, my name is Cal Ori, and I am here with a bakery, and if you need to rent it, well, come on down to Ori's bakery, and Cal will take care of you."
How are you, Cal?
Can we, real quick? We probably would need the ingredients before we show up here. Can we?
You can buy
gone
them in
to the
town.
market and
Yeah, that's
okay,
fine.
cool.
Yeah.
Not a big deal.
Okay.
How are you,
You-
Cal? We need to use your oven. In fact, I'll let the gnome speak for what he needs to do.
Oh, wee fella, tell me what you need.
Hi there, Cal. I just need to bake a few small bread fingers.
Aye.
It won't take up much space. Shouldn't take me long to pull the batter together.
Well, what do you mean by
Will be-
bread finger?
Well, so you make a batter with flour and eggs
Aye.
and milk,
Aye.
and
Aye.
and you mix that together, and then you sprinkle in a bit of powdered elf, and then you
You're
make
gonna-
that into a.
You're going to powder some elf and cook some powdered elf in my kitchen.
I look back at Kenji and the others.
That's not what he misspelled. He meant powdered
Elk.
elk. Thank you.
powdered elk. Yeah,
Yes.
sorry, I'm.
How does one powder an elk?
Well,
Well,
you
you see
see,
what-
first you have to butcher it down
There you go.
until you have just the bones. And then what we do is we have a crushing machine back in Cosmo's kitchen. Do you know Cosmo's
yeah.
kitchen? That's where we came
I've
from.
heard of Cosmo's Kitchen. Yeah.
That's right.
Awesome. Also have-
Well, that's of course. How could you not hear of it? Hear of us? We're
And where
famous.
else would they make powdered elk but at Cosmo's
But the
kitchen?
powdered elk,
It's all
Yeah.
coming together. Is what they say true about Cosmos? Because I've heard the darndest things about them.
Oh, the darndest things you have heard.
Oh.
We make all the things that you've heard about how excellent and fantastic the food is. They're all true.
Is
And
it
so much more.
true? Is it true that they serve a deviled egg that can make the executioner of a town cry?
I've seen no one eat that egg without shedding tears.
Oh, that just sounds amazing.
Yeah, they call it the try not to cry challenge. No one's succeeded.
That's right.
Well, me being a dwarf and a baker and all, I haven't had a good cry in, 30 or 40 years now. So, if you could find a way to get me a sample of one of them there deviled eggs, I feel like I've got a lifetime of pain to expel.
My
Kenji,
friend,
could we offer him a free deviled egg at the restaurant in exchange for his services here?
absolutely. If you go to Cosmo's kitchen, you go to the front, you said Kenji sent you, and that Kenji wants to give you a free egg, you'll be on your way.
Splendid. Splendid, lad, splendid. Well, come on in. Take full use of the Ori bakery.
As Bredgar makes
Cool.
use of
It's not funny.
Yeah. As Bredgar makes goes to work. I want to talk to Briar. And okay, so your job in this recipe is going to be very important. Okay.
Okay.
So normally in a tiramisu, what you add is amaretto, right?
What's
you've heard
that?
of amaretto.
No.
Okay. You just to clarify, what is your job at Cosmos again? You haven't been there for a while.
I do the drinks. I make the drinks and I drink the drinks, and
Okay,
everyone's happy.
Okay.
Have you been drinking now?
They're like holding maybe like 5 liters of booze in their shirt.
One is definitely leaking.
Okay. You're a mix. Have you ever made booze from almonds?
Almonds. Almonds. There's no almonds out in the wild. I use leaves and bridge water droplets. Sometimes a little bit of sand if I can find it. That's hard. I gotta find that by the beach, and that's a long walk.
Can you? Okay. You have some drinks you've made on you, right?
I've got drinks on me. I haven't made any since we left, though.
Okay. But with the drinks that we have,
we've got okay. Let me. She like looks down his shirt and he's like, "Oh, we got wine, beer, vodka, other vodka." Champagne, that's definitely the thing that's leaking out onto like my crotch area.
Yeah, no, we've all been smelling it. Okay. I'm not good with alcohol. I need to sit this since this is all we have available. You are a mixologist. I believe in Cosmo. I know he doesn't employ. Okay. Can you make something from this that tastes like bitter almonds?
Bitter almond. Okay, so what does an almond taste like? And I can make it from your visualization.
Angus will take off his shoe and sock and say, "Take a whiff of that, lass."
Oh, I can make something that tastes like that, man.
Or can we?
Are you talking Briar's language?
Okay, you know what? I trust Cosmo, so I trust you. And I trust that you'll come up with something great for this.
All right. And you see Briar turn around and start walking towards, like, the town well with, like, a mug to go scoop some water out of.
All right.
As Briar leaves, I say to the others, "Listen, I know I didn't get off necessarily on the best foot here, but what the fuck?"
What do you mean?
He doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. How the hell has he got a job here?
I don't.
Listen, we all start somewhere, okay? Now, Briar's doing her best. Wait,
We don't all start at Cosmo's kitchen.
Good point, Kenji.
Listen, it was either have her on the team or throwing rocks at the customers. What would you choose?
Well, I feel like there was a couple options in between those two, but
Cosmo
we'll see.
saw her potential, and that's enough for me.
As you guys are
I
talking,
see
you
that
all kind of
potential in
like
everyone.
look over and realize that Briar's got like a goose by the neck, like pointing and smiling, like, "Look what I got!" Shaking it around.
Briar, that's someone's goose. You can't take those. Briar, put down the goose, Briar,
He like
before you get us
throws
in
him off. He
trouble.
doesn't realize it starts like flapping and like in his face.
I can't do this anymore. I can't do this.
It's all right. Look, no, Kenji, remember the breathing. Go back to your happy place, okay? Chop the onions, okay? Remember, feel the onion flow through your hands as the knife slices through, okay? And then take a deep breath and remember where you are. You're goddamn Kenji. You're the best damn chef in Cosmo's kitchen, and you will be his
Tuesdays
second
and
man.
Thursdays.
Kenji will start. Kenji will kneel down. He will start. We bought a bunch of spices and stuff to mix to put on top as a substitute for the coffee that gets sprinkled on top, right? So he's gonna start mixing some dark spices around and trying to make it just right, and instruct Angus onto how to make this beef cream. We have some eggs and we have some cream, and we have some salt, and we've got some other spices and stuff. And he's gonna like talk to him about like how to make the emulsion properly and stuff like that. And then we need it like really finely chopped and stuff like that.
Angus may have low intelligence, but he is incredibly good at taking instruction. He loves like a list of like very clear instructions, so he follows everything that Kenji says to him to a T. I don't know if you want a skill check or something to see how well I make this.
You all work at Cosmos. You can do this. Like this is what you do. There's no skill checks needed. If you you were in like a weird situation where you're trying to do this on the road and you don't have like the right gear, but this is like asking, a professional to do something they do every day. Like you got this.
Asking Michael Jordan to throw a ball.
You ask Michael Jordan to dunk on like a regular just hanging out with no one guarding him.
Angus will ask Kenji for permission to add the tiniest grain of dwarven bread to the emulsion, because it's a good luck tradition that he does when he's making extremely important meals. And like you won't even taste it, because dwarven bread is practically tasteless, but it adds this lovely texture. But he will follow the recipe if Kenji decides not to.
Chef, I think the hard edges of the crumbs may break the emulsion. I think we should follow the recipe as written.
Yeah, he'll eat the bread himself, because he's just like, well, I guess I need the luck.
Wait, Chef, save a few crumbs for the end.
Okay.
Nice. So I mix my batter, and I'll pull out a few vials of bone flowers that I've got. A bit of elf, a bit of dwarf. Actually, because we don't have the amaretto and the almond flavor, I do actually have the tibia left over from a gnome that was an alcoholic who only ever drank amaretto and Coke. So I'm thinking that maybe if we use some of that, like some of the flavor might come through. So I'll go heavy on the amaretto and Coke alcoholic gnome flour this time.
Yep.
Like rather than a sort of 1-to-1-to-1 ratio, I'll do kind of like a 2-to-1-to-1 ratio of that.
Yeah. Makes sense. Yeah.
And then I bake them in the oven, and I pull them out, and I cautiously take them over to Kenji on a serving platter, or like not serving platter, like a roasting tray thing.
I'm imagining that we used some for this recipe. I'm imagining something very hearty, so maybe we got some. I'm imagining we were able to maybe find some like boar meat, some smoked boar ham kind of direction, maybe. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Absolutely. Yeah, they've got a what do you call it? They have a special type of pig that is bred here. Well, it's like an extra hairy pig, and it doesn't grow as big as the other
fluffy
pigs.
Hungarian pigs.
Yeah, but the meat on them, it just has like a completely different marbling and texture and taste to them, and it's perfect, especially when smoked or dried or cured.
Yeah,
Nice.
He's gonna try the meat cream that Angus put together. He's gonna try it. All he's gonna say is pinch more salt, chef. And as everything comes together, has Briar completed the task of mixing a drink, a liquid?
They were like knees squatting in the dirt, kind of swirling around their little concoction with a stick. But you see that he pulls out like a little vial from his pocket and like does one single drop that kind of like poofs, and there's like a giant just ball of smoke that pulls up, like pops up, and then like he scoops it with his hands and like hurries over, and he's like, right here, sir. Where should I put this? It's kind of leaking through my fingers.
Kenji's gonna give you the dish that we're gonna put the tiramisu in, and just drop it, chef. It's fine. He's gonna take a whiff. Does it smell disgusting?
You tell me, Briar. What does it smell like?
It smells a little. It's kind of like a bit of an experience, you know. At first, it smells. It smells like. Okay, the first reaction is, whatever you expect it to smell like, it smells like that. So normally everyone thinks it smells awful because they're like, how does it smell good? And then it kind of evolves into like a spicy, then sweet, and suddenly it just, you're not quite sure what exactly it smells like. It's kind of like 3 flavor palettes all at once.
Kenji's gonna dip his little finger in and just have another taste, and he's gonna make that experience again, and he's gonna eyes wide look at Briar and give a compliment that Kenji very, very, very rarely gives, and look at him and go, "It's pretty good, chef."
Thanks, man. You want to know what I put in there?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Okay.
And we're gonna
yeah.
soak the lady fingers in this wonderful liquid. We're gonna layer the cream, and in the end, I'm gonna dust over my spices, and just at the end, the salt, a little bit of bread.
It's perfect.
I feel playing this campaign the same way I feel watching Is It Cake or Not? Like, it's hard to play Cosmo's Kitchen without having food in front of you at the same time. It's a real struggle. But your dish is done. It's ready. You can go meet Goldilocks tonight, tomorrow.
Yeah.
I don't know how you want to time it out, but
Same day, I think.
I think we should go now, yeah. We don't want to leave this overnight. It'll,
Perfect.
Go
It'll
weird.
go a bit soggy.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're going to take our second break here, and we're going to come back in 5 or 10 minutes with the third act of our campaign, where our party visits Goldilocks with their, what did you call this? A tiramisu?
Savory tiramisu.
Savory tiramisu. See you guys on the other side of our break. Bye-bye.
All right.
Bye.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Cosmo's Kitchen. So,
All right.
you've got the dish. You know where the dragon is, or at least how to get there. Is there anything that you need to do other than head up? By the time you get there, it's probably going to be evening. You spent the morning and early afternoon doing this project. Are we cool getting to the dragon's lair late afternoon, early evening?
I think it should be fine. Yeah.
Just in time for dinner.
Yeah, exactly.
True,
Good
true.
point, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Dragons
Okay.
might be like snakes. They might only eat like once a century, you know? Could
Yeah.
be
We'll see.
weird. Who knows?
All right. Well, off we go. And sure enough, you can head out of town and follow the directions that the innkeeper gave you. And yes, there is a sign out front. I mean, there's like 7 signs all on the same pole, but one of them, Goldilocks, this way. And you can follow that. You can follow the next one, and you can follow the next one. And soon you find yourself on a single path, maybe, I don't know, the width of a horse's ass, and it will lead up the mountain in the direction of what appears to be a rather large cave that does indeed have a large red arch out in front of it.
This looks like the
Alright.
place.
Mm-hmm.
Angus will kind of ask the party to stop and say, "All right, lads, let's get ourselves cleaned up." And he'll go around the party and like, if anyone's like, sure, collar is like a little bit, sideways, he makes sure everyone looks really presentable as we're heading into the dragon cave.
Excellent.
I'm imagining Kenji's wearing his chef uniform.
Mm-hmm.
I can use prestidigitation cantrip to make clean everyone's clothes and make everyone look sharp. So I'll go through the party
Sounds good.
using that to clean everyone up.
Good. Now, this dragon is supposed to be in the business of using its hoard to loan people money. But it's still a dragon. And it did eat 3 people from Cosmo's Kitchen that came out here and were creeping it out about stealing its scales. So I just want to set the tone here that even if you expect this dragon to be friendly, it's still a giant, ferocious, fearsome, scaled, winged, fire-breathing, gold-colored monstrosity that is fully capable of killing you.
So to reiterate, guys, let's just note the scales on the way in this time. And once we know where they are and how things are positioned, we can make a plan for the second time.
Keep an eye out for any signs of fertility on the dragon as well.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Does anyone know what fertility signs are on a dragon?
Nope.
Well, I believe, with my experience with dwarf women,
The beard goes soft and silky
that's what I was going to say.
when she's ready for a mating.
All right.
Jesus.
All right, chefs. Let's just be on our best behavior. We're around Cosmos a lot, so we know what it's like to be around a fearsome monster.
I look in the mirror every morning, Kenji.
And
right.
Let's head in. Anything that could happen here can't be as horrible as what awaits me if I don't come back with what Cosmos asked for.
I ask my skeletal cat, Fluffles, to wait outside, Neil.
It does. Outside the entrance to this lair, as you're approaching it, there is a half-elf dressed in white robes with a red sash and a gold belt. It's an older female half-elf, probably 130 years old or something like that. And she gives you a smile before you can enter the lair and says to you, "Are you here to see Goldilocks?"
That's right.
And you're
Fair
here for
maiden.
what purpose?
We're here, we bring a gift, and we're here to request a loan, and perhaps parley with the dragon.
Please enter. And
Thank
she
you, madam.
Thank
waves
Chef.
you in.
Thank you.
Well, you can walk on in to the gold dragon's lair.
I'm looking for scales, Neil. What I want to know is, like, are there any scales in areas where the dragon can't see us and the elf lady can't see us?
Well, the
Yeah,
elf
scales
lady
we're looking for.
can kind of see this entrance area if she were to be looking in. The dragon has scales lying around, but they're not like in a neat pile. You get the distinct impression that like this is the equivalent of toenail clippings that have like fallen across the
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I get that. But like, if there's loads of them strewn about, there's got to be some that are like in a shadowy part of the cave or around
There
a
are-
nook.
Oh, I forgot to transition the scene for the viewers. Here we go. There are some, but you can see like one of them's over here underneath this paw. Like one of them's back against this wall. From the spot that you can see, it looks like there might be one like way back over here somewhere, like on the backside of the dragon. There's some, but they're scattered around. And
There's
I
none
think
in the corridors. They're all in this room.
Yeah, they're not right here, not in this area. Well, make me a perception check. Maybe there is one, and you have to be really keen to catch it.
I am keen. Perception 2.
Not today, you're not. You have all the intent in the world of looking for these scales, but when the massiveness of that dragon's head comes into view, all thoughts of looking for scales flee your mind as you are confronted with a creature who could swallow you whole without even taking a bite.
Easily. Yeah. Okay. I shake in my little booties.
Angus will gaze up at the golden dragon's head, and genuinely in his life, he's never seen something so beautiful. The amazing ferocity of the creature, the furious nature of its teeth. He's quite literally fallen in love with this majestic beast.
Ugh.
Kenji is he's just way too far gone to even notice the grandness of this moment. So he's just standing there tweaking, he's holding the tiramisu. And he's just like, he's focused on trying to get this over with, and he doesn't even appreciate what he's seeing in front of him right now.
Kenji, can I do the talking?
Yes, chef.
Great Goldilocks, have I got a treat for you? We've been slaving away all night, and we've made you a savory tiramisu.
Kenji's gonna bury his face in his hand.
Oh, love, that looks great. Bring it on over.
Christ. Please, have a taste. I wouldn't want all our effort to go to waste. And I hand it up.
The dragon chuckles. Little bouts of flame come out of its nose as it does so. It's long. It brings its head near you. Its tongue like falls out of its mouth and then like wraps underneath the tiramisu, rolling it back into its mouth. Mmm. That was
Fair
great.
maiden. I think you've just stolen my heart with that burp. That was like one that I've heard from the mountains before. Have you? And Angus will look around and he'll kind of like see that there's like strewn scales. You say, "Do you not have anyone in here to help you clean up, my lady?"
Are you?
A beautiful dragon such as yourself. These walls should be carved stone. Do you not know any dwarves? Listen.
Are you?
I can help you out.
Are you, little person, saying my
step away.
home is a mess?
No, my lady. I'm saying someone as majestic and beautiful as you should have help. You're very busy. You need a little bit of help to keep the place going.
She gets a little bit closer. You're saying... You are saying my home, my pride, my joy
I think there's been a bit of a misunderstanding.
to your standards?
I think you've misunderstood me, my lady.
Can Briar just like walk up and like kind of like push Angus away, like by the face, and he's like, "Ugh," and he's like, "No, my lady, sorry, he's just a little too small of a guy. He doesn't really, he's new here. Pardon his manners. He doesn't mean to disturb or insult you."
I apologize if I offended.
The dragon looks to Briar. Do you have something to say?
I would like to say you are the most awesome creature I've ever seen. Holy smokes, you should be so proud of your heritage, because dragons, you're probably the coolest creature in the land, my lady.
She steps back.
With all respect.
Well, I know when someone is trying to buy my love with flattery when I hear it. Lucky for you, it works. I love it.
Thank you, ma'am.
The tiramisu was delicious. People often bring me gifts, but it's always virgin this, princess that, pure of heart this. I long for a good dessert.
Praise is appreciated. My lady. Kenji has no idea how to address someone without saying chef.
There's more where that came from if you'd like more. It's really no hassle.
My lady, have you perhaps heard of Cosmo's Kitchen?
Is Cosmo's Kitchen the place that plucked a griffin while still alive just to sample the pain for the glasses, for the drinks that the feathers were placed in as decorations?
There's a lot of rumors, if I may. There's a lot of rumors about Cosmo's Kitchen. You see, guests that dine there have had meals such as this tiramisu and much more. And at the end of such a meal, you see, oftentimes they are so dumbfounded by the quality and the excellence and the fantasy, they don't quite know how to explain how this meal could be so great. So they come up with all sorts of stories. Yeah. Oh, there's a unicorn in the back that that they use for the. Oh no, there's they use elf meat for the. All sorts of crazy theories, when really they just don't have the palate that you might have to just appreciate good food. these legends that you hear and these stories that you hear about Cosmo's Kitchen are, if anything, proof of the excellence of this business.
I did indeed hear about Cosmo's Kitchen not 3 weeks back. A gnome, his companions arrived.
Yes, of course.
They were very unsettling. They asked if they could have some of my scales.
Oh, then that's
That's strange.
very strange, yeah.
Is this
That'd be like
gnome
asking for my
affiliated with your
toenails.
kitchen? Yes, that's exactly what it's like.
They are, in fact, but you see,
Not anymore.
not anymore after what we heard has happened here. And in fact, Cosmo does not like working with such rude and quite frankly uncomfortable people, which is why we've been sent. Specifically, me, the little bit rude dwarf, is he's also no longer going to be affiliated with the restaurant after this incident, of course, milady. We've just come to. Cosmo's Kitchen is in financial need, and you've tasted our food, and so have others, and they've thought it tasted so great that they've made up fantastic stories about what must go on. But you and I both know that what really makes a business like that go is, in the end, of course, gold, money.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So we have come, in fact, not just with a bite of tiramisu to appease you and to ask you for your money. We would like to offer you more, milady. We would like to prove the value that Cosmo's Kitchen offers to anyone in this very wide community, and anyone that may visit it. Because at Cosmo's Kitchen, milady, we take care of our guests. We're attentive. We listen and we watch, and we don't just serve what's on the menu. We listen to what they really need, because that is part of the service of Cosmo's Kitchen. And milady, we've come to ask, what is something that you have always wanted to eat? You, a beautiful, grand creature, a dragon who can have anything. Is there something you've always craved to eat, but could not? And how can we help with that?
There exists no creature on this plane or any other that I could not consume if I so desired.
I agree, of course, milady, but humans are also capable of consuming all sorts of creatures in a wide range of sizes and strengths. But oftentimes, milady, do you mind me asking, have you ever had a tiramisu like the one that you just had?
I have not, but it was delicious. In fact, this is the first tiramisu I've ever had.
Well, milady, you might be able to consume every creature that may roam this earth, and you might be able to overpower and destroy them with no effort whatsoever, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
But you also know as well as I do, a gold coin not only gets its value from the gold that's inside, but also by the way it is printed, by the way it is forged, and the value often not only comes from the material inside, but also the way it is made. Don't you agree?
Yes. I'm listening.
So maybe you can consume every creature, but maybe there is preparation methods or serving methods or anything that you maybe have thought of, dreamed of, or imagined that you've never been able to get. And let me tell you, whatever it may be, Cosmo's Kitchen will be able to make it for you.
There's no snow to be found anywhere on this landmass. There's no cold to be found. Could you make dishes in the cool variety? What about something cool and sweet?
May I have permission to speak, Kenji?
Go ahead. Just try to not insult the dragon again.
Of course, I'll offer my sincerest apologies, and if there's anything I can do to make it up to you. But I have heard of something sweet and cold. Up in the mountains, we leave this goat's milk out in the weather, and when the wind blows over it, it begins to freeze. And if you stir it, it becomes like a fluffy, beautiful cream. And if you put this on sweet dwarven bread, it's the most magical, delicious food you could have on a hot day.
Stipper.
I think we could make it, Kenji. I know how.
Ice cream. I've heard of it. The dragon wants ice cream.
So you want a loan, and in exchange, you will provide me with delicious dishes?
Milady, we're not just trying to get a loan. I think we would like to establish a long-form relationship between this establishment and you. A loan is part of it, and we do need it. But I think we can provide services to each other of a greater variety at any point, whatever that may be. And I think establishing a relationship between us...
She gets real close to you. You want a long-term relationship with me?
Well,
are you flirting with me?
A long-term...
Human?
I'm very flattered. I meant a long-term...
I would like a long-term relationship with a dragon.
You would?
I would. I
It's
can't
very
see.
brave of you.
Your beauty is beyond belief, my lady. I've never seen such a visage and a buxom bosom.
Briar like turns to the rest of the crew. Is like, should we stop him?
We should have stopped him about half an hour ago.
We should have just sent him out. Honestly,
It's like-
This is a mistake.
It's like watching a cart run into a tree in front of the town. All you can do is watch in horror. You want to move and stop it, but you just have to see the chaos that ensues.
the cars haven't been invented yet, but I imagine this is what happens when they crash into each other.
Make me a persuasion check, Mr. Dwarf.
Oh, listen. We're persuading. We're risen. Okay, boom.
Someone's
an
risen.
You know,
My hand
every
is telling me no.
now and then, a brave mortal works up the courage to say such things to me.
Like, gets on top. No, I'm sorry, I'm stopping.
My lady, you've free rein to say no, but a dwarf has to follow his heart. I'll make the offer, but if you say no, I'll accept it.
Aren't you concerned that you would be crushed under my enormous size?
My lady, I am not interested in... I'm more of an emotional person. I want a connection.
Oh.
Connection. That's a great.
I don't know what you're suggesting, but there are ways we can figure this out.
You want to have a long-term, emotional relationship?
Well, we can talk about it and see if we get along.
I have met the weirdest people in my life. So many freaks have come in here asking for the strangest. They want my scales. They offer the most disgusting acts you can possibly imagine. You were the first to treat me like a person.
Like a princess.
My lady, people don't treat you like a person. And, like, Angus will sit down on the ground and say, How did that make you feel?
That's my man.
Ever since I've come to this land, I've been curious about the creatures here. They're so unlike those from where I come. And I've been interested in understanding how they work. And I've learned that their short lifespans lead to short expectations and short, predictable, root, boring, plebeian vices. Having a creature of mortal life and diminutive size to chat, to connect, to share a day with? Why? That sounds delightful. I've heard tell of humans and dwarves coming home after a hard day of working on the fields or the mines and relaxing by talking at their cats and dogs. I feel I could use something like that, but cats and dogs are so short-lived. They'll be dead in a blink of an eye. A dwarf, however, and she like reaches out a claw in your direction and like sets one of her large talons on like the tip of your boot. Having someone to converse with who isn't my door guard, who isn't afraid. That's a new experience. One who can make me sweet chilled cream? Why, you
I'm a
might
lady.
be my most precious asset after all. And then the like claw digs into the boot a little bit and then starts to slowly pull your boot towards her.
Angus will like lie back and say, "All right, lads, this is my fate."
Just lie back and think of England.
No, this is good. This is good, guys. Okay.
That means something
Lily-
entirely different to him than it does to you, Nick.
Pretty,
Sorry, Kenji.
Okay. This is good, guys. This is a good turn of events. Gonna miss him in the kitchen. Not gonna lie, but he's okay.
Kenji, what's actually going on? Like, because is the dragon going to eat him, or is he like going to?
Don't question it. Don't think about it too much. This is an inn. We have an angle. Okay.
The thing is, it's all I can think about.
Okay. Yeah, I understand, but
It's like right, Kenji. It's like right there.
yeah.
I close my eyes. I see the dwarf with the dragon looming over him. I open my eyes and I see worse. I sleep at night and I know I will dream of glittering scales and guttural dwarven cries.
Listen, maybe you're not.
Are they
laid out for
cries of
this.
pleasure or pain, Kenji? I don't know. That's
Maybe
what I
he'll
need to
write
know, Kenji.
write to us. We'll pen pal him and make sure he lets us know how it is. Maybe
We'll stay in
that's-
contact. It's okay if he forever stays the pet of this dragon. Okay, maybe that's just his
That's
fate.
fine. Yeah. But I tell you
Briar,
what,
I
though.
think
Wait, it does speak to the fertility of the dragon, though, doesn't it?
that's. Listen, whatever it is, whatever the fertility situation, the egg situation of this dragon may be, we now have someone who can find it out. We have someone with direct access to the scales. Maybe we can't come back with 60 right now, but every once in a while, he's going to be able to give us some. This is great, okay?
Yeah,
the loans
that's-
pay him here, easy peasy. No problem, I got this from here. And the
you
egg,
think-
we'll figure it out over time. If we tell Cosmo that we have a person on the inside of Goldilocks' lair,
Literally. Oh, the lair.
what?
He does. Briar does like a high five.
Let's go.
Yeah.
You fucking idiots. Okay. This is a fantastic development. Milady, if I may.
She like turns her attention from the dwarf for the first time back towards the line chef.
I don't mean-
Yes.
I don't mean to interrupt this intimate meeting anymore. I feel like you two have a lot to talk about. I would, however, like to one more time bring the conversation back to the loan that I mentioned. Of Briar, how much gold was it again that the kitchen needed?
10,000. I think it was 10,000.
Was it really 10,000? I can't. Briar, can you help me? Kenji doesn't want to say the number out loud because he thinks it's so outrageous.
Madam Dragon, what is the largest number you can think of in the whole world?
It's a great number.
What is it?
A mole.
A mole? A mole?
Yes.
Like a wee creature that digs in the ground.
No.
Well, that sounds much bigger of a number than a measly 10,000.
The 10,000 copper?
Not
10,000 silver? 10,000 electrum?
I
That-
don't know what that is.
Oh,
No, milady.
10,000 mithril?
Well, no.
Gold, milady. It's a loan for gold.
The best color.
You've come to a gold dragon seeking gold?
Milady, I've already found the gold. Right here.
Oh, stop it.
he's so in, guys.
You're too much. Get back in there. And she, like, drags you deeper into her lair.
Maybe the restaurant has a lot of operating costs. We have a lot of turnover. There's a lot. We have missing staff. We have
Yes,
very
yes,
expensive
yes.
ingredients.
Excellent. I'll buy your dwarf for 10,000 gold.
Perfect. So,
Wait, am I... I accept.
Done. She reaches out a paw and, like, points it in the direction of the gnome to shake.
I shake the claw.
Excellent. Sold. And then she'll, like, use her tail and sort of, like, sweep a pile of gold in your direction. One of these, like, massive mounds right here. This just, like, it's
Nice.
counted out.
Will do.
And then she'll turn her attention back to the dwarf while you guys talk and count.
This is amazing,
Milady.
guys. This isn't a loan. We just got the money.
We lucked out here big time.
We can just tell Cosmo that we got a loan.
We're gonna get promoted.
What is your name, pet? The dragon says to you.
You can call me whatever you like, lass. But my name is Angus Boucher. I'm a butcher. I like to chop up meat.
So
for
do
the restaurant.
I.
Really? We've got a lot in common. What's your favourite thing to chop up? I do love to chop up a nice cow.
Are like elk. They're very similar.
Oh, they are. Which part? Do you like to crack the ribs or do you like to take the haunch?
I'm a haunch girl myself.
Oh, so am I. I love the haunch.
You don't say.
I love your haunch, lady.
Stop it.
Oh my god.
All right.
But don't really.
Guys,
kinda-
I think the dragon is the most distracted it'll ever be. Do you want to
Yes,
kind of like
you're right.
while we're sifting through the gold on the ground, maybe like shuffle in any scales that we can find?
Oh,
on the
yeah.
ground?
Any skills?
Yeah,
that
but
you
wait.
see?
Yeah, you're the sneaker one. Brian, you should do it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right. Do I need to roll anything?
You are going to need. Now, here's the problem: is that dragons have a really good passive perception. Like, even if they're talking to something, they're like very powerful, magnificent creatures, and so their like peripheral vision's really good. Their hearing's really good. You're gonna need to do a really good stealth check, like a really good stealth check, if you're going to. Where are you gonna go? Where you got to draw for me. Show me on the map how you're
How
gonna.
do I point?
If you on the left side, there's like a bar of shit, and there's one that looks like a ruler, and that allows you to
Okay.
draw arrows.
I probably would want to just only explore around here, you know?
Okay.
Can I talk to Angus real quick?
Yeah, the dragon's talking to him, but you could probably interrupt their conversation.
Angus
Okay.
is giggling
No, wait,
like a.
I don't want to
little-
interrupt. I just want to like kind of wave like Angus, hey, and then like
Angus will
do
glance over.
really bad sign language, and he does like the sign language of like making out, and points, and then he like does tongue, and he points.
Angus will be like, oh, all right. And he'll turn to the dragon and say, you know, milady, have you ever kissed a dwarf? He's like leaning on a pile of gold, like just reclining.
Would
Only
you?
made himself comfortable.
We dragons don't understand this kissing thing these creatures do here. Why do you press your faces together? Is it because you don't have scales on your face, on your snouts? Is it because they're soft?
Well, milady, when two people really get along, sometimes they have this emotional connection, and they have this desire to press their bodies together because it feels pleasurable.
Oh, I
almost
know
like
what
eating
this is.
tiramisu. Well, no, I mean in an emotional sense, and kissing is a very emotional thing, not even just sexual.
We just have cuddling. We don't have this kissing thing.
Oh, cuddling is perfect. Kissing is basically like cuddling with your mouth. It's very unhygienic, but people love it.
It sounds disgusting.
Oh, aye, it can be, especially if the person hasn't heard of toothpaste.
What's that?
It's basically like a stuff you can put on your teeth and you clean them, and it makes your teeth very shiny and very. They smell beautiful. Have you ever smelled mint? They smell like the most magical mint ever.
I was
back when
going
a
to
wee lad-
ask, when you eat meat, there's a fetid scent that comes off the breath. Wouldn't you taste that if you were touching tongues? Ugh, she shudders.
Well, milady, sometimes there's a lot of drink involved, and so the flavour it doesn't really come through.
You mortals have such interesting traditions. They're so incomprehensible. But the answer is no. I've never kissed a dwarf.
Milady, would you like to?
Absolutely not.
Unlucky. Fucking struck out.
That's all right, milady. You have total right to do whatever you want and say no to anything I offer.
Are you kidding me? I could eat you without noticing it. I do not concern myself with... It's impolite to say to your pet.
Of course,
If
milady,
you
but
want, I would allow you to walk into my mouth and clear it of bones, though.
oh, that would be my pleasure. I'm sure it must be very uncomfortable to have those bones.
I've had a rib stuck behind my 9th molar for 100 years. It just won't lodge itself free.
Well, let me tell you, madam, I'm very handy with an axe, and he'll like hold up his battle axe and say, "I'm gonna pop down the moat now, and I'll get up in there, and I'll get you nice and clean."
She'll drag over the body of someone that she's killed that's like just rotting in here with like its backpack and everything, and we'll say, I think there's a torch in there somewhere, and then lay her head on the ground and open her maw, and it's huge. It's a huge maw. You could totally walk inside, but it's also, you're already in a cave. There's bad lighting, so you're gonna need to light a torch to walk into the dragon's mouth and start picking it clear of bones.
Is this
Yeah,
a good
absolutely.
time to start trying to steal scales, maybe? Which way is the dragon facing with its head on the ground?
That's a great... Well, Angus is here, so I think the dragon's head... It'll be... I can't, actually change the token, but the head will be in, a this way, but the rest of the body is still back,
Still
this way.
facing that way.
Yeah.
Oh,
Also,
out
when
of
I'm
character
counting
suggestion,
Okay.
you could use a scale to carry it. Like, oh look, no, we're just helping us carry the gold, and these are just toenails. You don't care about those, right? Kind of subtly.
True.
Also, is there any scales within the gold pile, Neil?
No.
Okay. I count the gold. That's what I'm doing. I'm counting the gold while this, well, whatever you would call this, is happening.
All right, Jaiden. Yeah, whatever this is, which is, I don't even know. Now is the most important roll you're ever going to make with this character.
Oh,
I need you to make
dear.
me a stealth roll, and it needs to be really high, okay? Don't mess this one up.
Are you going to give a bonus for my distraction?
I will lower the dragon's passive perception because it's so distracted.
Can I
Okay,
give my
this is-
advantage to Briar in any way?
Your
My
inspiration?
inspiration, yeah.
Ooh. Can you trade inspiration?
Why do you have inspiration?
help action?
No.
For my fantastic name.
Nope. Players cannot give up inspiration to other players.
Okay.
The help action here? Like, do anything?
The help, I don't know how you would help in this situation. That would just be another stealth check. I don't know how you would help someone be stealthy.
Well, I mean,
Like he
Angus
would
is
be
helping.
loudly moving coins around while they're
Yeah,
doing their thing.
that's lowering the dragon's perception
Okay.
already. Yeah.
All right.
Alright.
I'm
So
in the
it's-
mouth. Roll well.
The best stealth
right?
roll. Yeah, it's a 20-sided die
Okay.
plus your stealth roll. A value of 20 is really good. Anything above 20 is absolutely exceptional. Anything below 10 is like below average.
Okay. Uh-oh. I don't think I should be the one in this position.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Nice roll.
That's actually really good. All right. So, while the dragon is getting its teeth cleaned, also a dentist. Lovely. What a great dwarf. You can slip over here. You can start moving between these statues and these chests and these vases and this old armor and everything. And you can start looking for these scales and you can start putting them together. But you're running into a critical problem. Your shirt is already filled with booze. There's no way you can also carry these scales. You're going to have to make a trade here. You're going to have to discard all of the booze if you're going to try and put these scales under your shirt and sneak out with them.
okay. Briar's first instinct is to immediately drink all of the booze and set the bottles down.
Okay. On your character sheet, on the second column, near the top, there's a thing called saving throws. I want you to make me a Constitution saving throw. That's your health and fitness and broadly, and so it's also how well you can hold your booze.
Okay, wait. Where's saving?
It's near the top in the second column.
Right below
Save-
Lita thinks that's in proficiency bonus. Right below
Yeah.
The right of your stats. It's the right of
Yeah.
dexterity specifically.
Okay.
Here's a
I wish I could make this text
Here
a
you
little
go.
bit bigger.
here's a little image of where it is.
Yeah, I have my mouse. Here's another screenshot.
Oh.
Oh, okay. I see. Oh, which one am I looking for? Again?
You're looking for Constitution. There should be a
Got
3
it.
next to it. You want to click the Constitution text, and you want to do well. Oh my God, that's a natural 20. That is the best you could possibly do. 1 bottle, 2 bottle, 3 bottle, 4. They're down. Now it's gonna take
Mixologist blood, baby.
it's gonna take a while for that to hit you, right? You can only absorb so much alcohol into your bloodstream at a time, and you have just downed all the booze. The bottles are on the ground. You're going. You got 1 scale. You got 2 scale. I need you to make me. Now this is the last check you're gonna need to do here. Okay? It's gonna be able to find as many scales as possible. So a perception check, which is just below that saving throw area. It's like near the stealth zone. If you get a 10 or below, you can only find 6 scales. If you can get me a 11 to a 16, you can get 20 scales. If you can do better than a 16, you can get 30 scales on your perception check.
Okay, here we go.
Wow, nice.
A 16.
It's just too nice
That's
with it.
20. That's 20 scales. That's
Oh,
perfect.
Oh yeah.
Yes, that's that is the good number. That's not extra. That's not like you won't have dirty ones, but that's enough to throw the biggest banquets you're going to need to throw. So you can gather these scales up.
It's fine, and we don't need to pay back the 10 grand. So like, we're winning.
Where do you hide these scales?
Just right back in my shirt, in my pants,
Fucking scales and
under my
pants and up the
armpit.
shirt.
In the booze
and-
pockets.
Yeah.
It's not
Right.
even gonna look suspicious because she had the booze under there when he came in.
The shirt is
so-
already stretched out.
It's
like they
already
planned it.
clanging around too.
Yeah. Oh my god, it's actually perfect.
It's actually perfect somehow. All right. Briar will come back on out. The dragon didn't notice. Angus, you're in there. You see this bone. It's really wedged down between the gum and the tooth.
I
You're gonna axe it?
I press the haft of my axe and I try to pop it out.
Give me a strength check.
Oh, let me tell you, I could give you an athletics check if you wanted.
You're gonna
Yeah,
save
give me
that
an
one for
athletics check.
tonight.
That's fair. Yeah.
Boom, 25.
Easy. Yeah, it pops in there.
Dice is on our side today.
And the bone just pops right on out, and you can hear this the sigh of relief. But like the sigh, you're in the dragon's mouth, and so it's this like gust of air that like hits you in the face. And you know the smell of bile.
Do I tumble out of the dragon's mouth with that wind?
I think you're short and stocky. You can tumble if you want, or you can resist. You know, you can roll with it or hold your own, depending on how you want to appear.
Yeah, okay. I'll hold my own. Is there any tartar in there? Or do I start like chopping away at it? Like
There's totally
yeah,
tartar
dude,
in here.
I'm chopping away, and I'm being very careful not to hit, any gums or anything like that. And I'm just cleaning up those teeth. I'm like, those like those sharks with like the little fish on them that clean it. I'm like that right now.
The pilot fish, yeah. Give me an attack roll to hit the tartar. A miss indicates that you are missing the tartar and hitting the dragon. Oh
20.
my god, it's so
Jesus.
good.
Ooh,
You were on point.
Oh, nice.
these giant numbers.
You're just going in here chopping off all the extra tartar, cleaning up the mouth, getting rid of this, getting rid of that buildup. Meanwhile, there's these just like very pleasant, well, probably from the dragon's point of view, pleasant, but to everyone else, horrifying, like rumbling sounds of like, oh, that's been in there for so long. Oh. And just like a constant low rumble, which is keeping the dragon super busy. And soon the party's got the gold. They've got the scales. You've got the things. The only thing you're missing are the eggs. Does she have eggs?
Sorry, not Briar. Angus. Angus.
Can I hear them?
Yeah, you can hear them. Yeah.
Okay. I'm chopping away at the tartar, and I'm like, what is it, Kenji? What do you need?
He's gonna
Now,
make
I also want to
egg
make
with
you know that if you can hear, the dragon can hear as well, right? This is not a
Yes.
whispered conversation, just to be super
his-
clear.
Yeah.
Right, remember
and
what
she can
Cosmo said,
probably.
guys.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
guys. Let's head back to the restaurant. I think we have some more deviled eggs to make. I say, looking at Angus.
Angus will nod. And after he finishes up cleaning up the dragon's mouth, he'll like pop out and he'll say, my lady, I am your pet, but how do dragons reproduce? Do you have eggs or something? Like, I don't know much about dragons, and I'm very curious.
These are
do you give birth?
very personal questions you're asking very soon.
My apologies. You know what? Forget about it. We'll talk about that when you're ready. I'm sorry. You know what?
No. I'll entertain these notions. We talked about the pressing of faces and how unhygienic it is. I suppose you're owed an answer.
Thank you, my lady. You're very gracious and beautiful, I might say.
Stop it.
I'll never stop.
Neil, why are you playing the parties in trouble song?
What? No. It's fine. You see, when a female dragon comes into her season, a great urge overtakes her. Do you understand what I mean by great urge?
Oh, definitely. Like, when a customer snaps their fingers at me, sometimes I feel like just smashing their face into the glass. It's a very strong urge.
I suppose that's not entirely unrelated, but sure. Anyway, the dragon then seeks out an appropriate mate of the same species. It's important that you get the species the same. And
So-
then...
Two different kinds of dragons shouldn't or can't mate? Or maybe that's a little personal for me to ask.
How do you say it? What would you think if you came out of your farm one day and you saw your dog mounting your cat?
My goodness. I'd probably laugh a little bit, but I'd be kind of disgusted.
That's exactly how I would feel joining flesh with a non-gold dragon.
I
Mildly
see.
entertained, deeply disturbed.
You're such a beautiful, fair, high-status lady that you need a similarly high-status man. You wouldn't be seen with a riffraff. Am I somewhere in the right direction there?
I mean, yes, but that has absolutely nothing to do with color of dragon. That has everything to do with quality of gold dragon. It wouldn't not with one of those lowly age class 3 or 4 or 5 gold dragons. Pitiful creatures, not even a lair. No.
And
It's
what
one
a
of those
lair you
things
have,
that you
milady.
might not. Oh, thank you. Like the pressing of faces is alien to me, perhaps the notion of dragon scale color is alien to you.
I'm sure we have a long time to spend together to get to know each other, so I'm sure you'll be able to explain it to me.
No, let me tell you in detail. You see, a dragon phallus will fit about yay! And she begins to tell you how baby dragons are made in the sort of detail that you hear from your 7th grade health teacher, but you really wish you didn't hear. And it is disturbing. But essentially, standard, they mate and then an egg is produced. But she will tell you that if there are no other mates to be found, female dragons can reproduce asexually if they want. They can just lay eggs without anyone else, but it does produce like usually smaller, weaker, less intelligent, less capable offspring. And so they usually do prefer a mate, but they can reproduce on their own.
Perfect. That's information the party can use in future campaigns.
Yeah, and that is the last time I will ever say the word dragon phallus. That was it. That was the one time. It's never happening again.
We're just always pushing the envelope with this show.
Yeah, we really are.
Jeez, this is
Really
not how I
are.
expected this to go.
I did not either. No.
So I think
Well-
the party is gonna get out of here.
Yeah, so I think
Please.
I'll
We
say,
should push it.
like, we've got our gold and you've got our dwarf. Can we leave, or is us kind of like watching? Is that part of the thing, or can we leave?
I would like
Should
to
we?
leave.
Yeah, I know. I'm asking the dragon. Is that part of it for you, or can we leave?
Are you still here?
Right. That's it. Okay. We'll see you later. Thanks for the gold.
Pleasure
Enjoy the
doing
dwarf.
business.
Angus, you know our mailing address?
Milady, can I occasionally go perform my duties at the restaurant? It's very important to me, and I love doing it. Could I at least go back with them? I give you my word. I'll come back to your cave. I'd like to tell them I'm going to be living here.
Can't they say that?
Oh, they can, but I'd like to say goodbye to the chef myself. He was the one who gave me the job. But look, we could talk about this.
Well, Angus, why don't you could just
Angus,
stay a night
stay
or
here.
two?
You're not coming out of this cave, man.
Yeah,
All right.
Yeah,
we've made a deal,
It's-
Angus.
It's been Angus, listen, it's been a pleasure working with you at the restaurant. It was always really nice. I personally always thought you'd be a great server. So
Oh, why, thank you there, lad.
You're a waiter for the dragon now.
exactly.
Oh my god. You know what? You're right. I'm exactly where I should be.
As Briar
Exactly.
says this, Kenji kind of leans over. Have you been drinking, man?
No, I haven't. Anyway.
All right. No, cool. It's been a pleasure, milady. We might be back at some point with we will be back with some of that sweet iced cream as well. And we're happy to, keep a flourishing business relationship between Cosmo's Kitchen and the great Goldilocks. It's been fun as he slowly like backs towards the door.
Yes.
falling
Hurry
golden
out.
scales and
And the dragon will turn to Angus and be like, "So, dwarf, let's get to know one another. Tell me
Oh, I am
about
a
your
lady."
father."
Angus will go into a long, detailed explanation of his family, like growing up in the family mine. That they would mine, lesser ores and stuff like copper and, iron and fairly basic low metals. They weren't like a rich dwarves, but they were working dwarves. They occasionally would find like the odd emerald. Maybe they would find a very small ruby or gems and stuff like that. And they might find like a few flecks of gold, a little bit of silver, but mostly they were copper miners, fairly low in dwarven society. And his father was a very practical man. Um, he actually his brother had died in a mining cave-in, and
Oh,
he married his brother's wife so that the kids would have someone to look after them. And then they went on to have their own children. So he actually has, half children because his brother died. He took
are
over
you
that family.
still married?
That was me father. But that was his father. And Angus was married once to a dwarf lady, but they got divorced because of his anger issues.
All right. Well, the party can exit the cave and begin walking back towards town. Now, you definitely won't get back towards town until well after dark.
When I get out of the cave and we get past the elf, I say to Kenji, what the fuck was that? I knew this place was weird. I knew working here I'd be asked to do some strange things. Murder a unicorn, eat an elf, fine. But what happened in there?
well,
That was fucking weird.
the way I see it is we did a nice clean business deal. We got what we wanted. We got more than we wanted. We can probably come back for more at some point. Guys, we can start thinking about, this is 10,000 gold right here with us. We can start thinking about, do we maybe, I'm not suggesting, we lie to Cosmo, but we could, obviously we want to tell him that we got a better deal on a loan here. This is not money that we have to pay back. And we also kind of have to tell him that we did lose his butcher. But I'm just saying it's possible that instead of buying the dwarf, we, or selling the dwarf, we got a discount on the loan.
What are you suggesting, Kenji?
Well, this is a lot of
Yeah.
gnome dust.
Yeah, but I think Kenji, I think if you take that money and you buy a shitload of gnome dust, we're gonna be down a line cook too.
Okay.
I mean,
maybe
this
you're
is
right.
it's not an
And-
intervention, man. You do what you want. I'm just saying, like,
I don't like the vibes that you give me whenever we talk about, drugs. So I'm gonna not talk about that with you anymore. Hey, Briar. So, what do you think we should do with this gold?
Dude, he like starts talking and then he just like the alcohol finally hits him and he just like vomits and like crumples to the ground. Like scales kind of spill out of his shirt. He's
That
like,
was
"Oh."
a pretty disgusting sight in there. Jesus. Well, whew, guys. I couldn't do it. You guys are right. I could never lie to Cosmo.
Right.
You guys have convinced me.
I think it'd be more healthy, Kenji, right? We've been so successful here. You'll get a promotion. You'll get paid more. And then you can use that extra money to get a steady, long-term flow of extra gnome dust rather than like, blowing it all out in one go and ruin it for yourself.
You know what? I think that's a good idea. And also, I haven't been home in the past... Hold on. 6 weeks. I don't even know if I have time to spend all this money. And can you imagine how happy Cosmo is going to be that he doesn't have to pay this money back?
He's going to be pleased about that. That's a lot of gold.
All right. Well, I'm going to miss Angus. I hope she's going to be okay in there, you know?
I think that...
He's fine. He is what he wants.
like, given his anger issues, relationships are tough for him. This is maybe one type of relationship where his anger issues aren't really going to be a problem.
Or they're, going to be a real problem. All right. Let's... I think we've gotten what we need.
Well,
Folks, maybe we should head back.
The only thing is we didn't find out if she has any eggs, will soon lay eggs, or is looking for a mate. Now, you don't necessarily have to. That's sort of maybe one of the stretch goals. You did the other two pretty well. You did the gold better than expected. You got a really good result on the scales. Is this one of the things that we just leave for later?
I've got an idea. Maybe we could ask that elf. I've got a plan. I'm going to go ask the elf. I run back over to the elf.
The half elf is there. She's looking at you with her white robe on.
Hey
Hello.
there. Thanks so much for letting us go in there to see Goldilocks. That was amazing. We made a deal with Goldilocks. We sold her something. Our dwarf. I don't... Okay. It's hard for me to... I'm quite religious. And I believe in traditional, coupling between, two people, monogamous, that kind of thing. Sorry, I'm waffling, but the dwarf, we sold him, I think it's a thing with the dragon. And I'm just concerned about my part in that relationship being non-monogamous. And I'm just wondering if you can put my mind at ease and let me know what Goldilocks' current dating situation is. Like, is she single? Is she seeing anyone? Has she had eggs recently? Like, what's the plan there? I figure that you would know, and I just will struggle because I'm going to have to go to the temple when I get home, and I'm going to have to, pay my dues for my part in this, and it would just make my life so much easier if I could, get some peace of mind on that.
Should not have brought this up. We should just let the campaign finish. The half elf will look at you. Be not afraid, dear gnome. Goldilocks is capable of taking care of herself. Dragons are non-monogamous by nature. They do not partner for long periods of time. And I assure you, this whatever it is with the dwarf is not a sex thing.
Are you sure? It really seemed like it.
I can't be 100% sure, but I would bet your life on it, but not mine.
Understood. But like I said, confession and all that, so could you just let me know the dragon's marital status right now? Single, interested, looking for friends?
Single.
Not settling down anytime soon.
Her last mating was a year ago, and he has already left.
And what is the gestation period of dragons?
Give me a persuasion check. These are strange questions to be asking.
The group left and turned around and decided it wanted to ask these questions.
The half elf just gives you an odd look and is like,
Inspiration. Fuck.
Go ahead, use your inspiration.
Nice, Neil.
Let's go. 21.
Oh, if it will get you to leave, the gestation period is 18 months-ish.
That's soon.
Thank you so much, and congratulations to Goldilocks. I hope that everything goes well with the eggs, and that she enjoys the
Please
dwarf for however long it
leave.
lasts. I will pray for you, and I will pray for
Go
the dragon. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Martha,
We'll
bless
be on
you.
our way.
Goodbye.
Thank you.
You can see the half elf like with the hand on the face, being like, "Oh my god, it's another one! It's another one!" They're so weird.
Am I the fucking only normal person that works in the restaurant industry? Okay, guys. So we know there's an egg, but we also know that we have some more time.
6 months.
6 months. We know we can come back. We have favor with her. We just left her a pet. He's gonna be here. He's gonna be talking to her. He's gonna probably find out about the egg eventually.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So I think we can maybe come back at some point and maybe get this egg as well. And I think this is going to be valuable information to Cosmo.
I think Cosmo's going to be really pleased with us.
All right. Let's head
All
back
right.
home.
All right.
Well, the party can head home. And I think we're actually going to be done with our quest ahead of schedule. So you're going to get home. There's no adventures on the way. We're just going to pass the 3 days there. Before we get all the way home, I do want to check in with Angus one last time because it sounds like Angus is not rejoining the party. How you feeling about about living with the dragon?
You know, he's still in the honeymoon phase. So Angus, he's feeling good, man. He's like, I'm dating a dragon. He hasn't quite figured out that he's a pet. But you know that there'll be dragon conflicts in due time. But he's honestly just in awe. Like he just saw this majestic, beautiful creature and was like, Jesus, I need this thing in my life. Kind of like, when you see a cute puppy, you gotta have it.
You just gotta have it, yeah. Well, those dragon problems will drag on and on and on. But in the meantime, you will get a great lifestyle. She's got money. She'll have people come and build you things that you need, whatever food you want. Like a person dotes on their pets. The dragon with the huge hoard of gold will dote on you, and you will live better than any dwarven king ever has.
And Angus dotes right back. He's a very caring and emotional person. And it's very easy to keep your anger in check when the person you're next to has teeth that are bigger than you. So he spends his time, he grooms her. He like gets up on her back and he finds loose scales and he like gets in there with his axe and pops them off. And then he's brushing her. He's looking after her, man. There's like a little crud in her eye. He gets up there and he like scrapes the crud away. He polishes the horns.
Good guy, Angus. Well done.
Really took one for the team.
He did.
Seriously.
That is the spirit of Cosmo's Kitchen.
All right. Well, the party, you can get back to Cosmo's Kitchen 3 days later, hauling your gold, hauling your scales. And there's Cosmo. He's out front, his head in his hands, shaking his head back and forth, muttering to himself. But then he sees the three of you coming. And he sort of stands up upright and super surprised. And he hurries over to the party approaching, goes, Kitchen staff! Kitchen staff! Did you do it? Are we saved?
Jeff, we are more than saved. Let me tell you.
We got you.
Briar, would you like to present the gold?
Briar like bags out his shirt and just all the 20 scales fall to the ground.
Clink, 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 clink.
I open my backpack and pour it out next to the scales.
Cosmo's eyes glitter. You've
Cosmo.
done it. You've done it.
Chef, I have excellent news for you. Well, let me tamper expectations. I have good news and I have bad news. Cosmo, and I know you always need to hear the bad news first.
Yes.
The bad news,
What's the interest rate? Tell me now.
well, maybe I'll start with the good news. The good news is that the interest rate is already paid. In fact, the loan is already paid back.
What?
Cosmo, the bad news is that we're down a butcher. Because we sold Angus to Goldilocks as a pet. And therefore don't have to give any of this gold back. It's all ours.
What's the bad news?
That's the joke. There is one. Yay!
That's right.
Ah,
Also, we weren't able to return with an egg. But we know that there is one. And we know that it hatches in 6 months.
hatches?
And we have...
Oh, that's not very much time. It might already be fully formed. Oh, that's a whole complexity. I've always wondered what you could do with a partially gestated dragon in an egg. I thought I really wanted to try the omelet first. That's a whole extra layer of the partial living creature that you're going to work with. Oh, I'm not ready for this. Oh, it's a whole different plan.
And I have very many ideas for that. And to get this egg, Cosmo, we have someone on the inside. We have a dwarf on the inside. He is living with the dragon, and they are doing great together.
It didn't
We have
eat him?
No,
Oh.
they're hanging out. He's her pet. They're chilling. They have a great relationship. He can talk to her. He cleaned her teeth. All that.
Has
Had,
you
like, some
heard him
weird-
speak?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I think she likes it.
yeah.
Tell me now.
It's like
Did we just give up a good waiter?
No,
Would he
I
would
don't
he have
think-
made a good waiter? How
don't
did
think-
he do on this mission?
Chef, he would have been a terrible waiter. There was no
There was-
loss here whatsoever.
there was no
I've always
chance.
thought this. We've all always thought this. He would have been awful. Have you
Kenji
seen
and
his
I-
outbursts?
I've struggled to agree on many things, but I think that's one thing that we can agree on.
But this
right.
session, he was so on point. He was polite. He excused himself. Like he really put in the effort. And Cosmo looks to Jaiden.
Betrayal.
Do you concur with your comrades?
Yeah, no, like it looked like he was doing better, but we all know he would have fallen from grace eventually.
Mm-hmm.
Good riddance then.
Let's go.
Well, excellent. You have done. You've achieved more than I ever expected from the lot of you. I am very proud. Very, very well done. Very, very well done.
Thank you, Chef.
Thank you, Chef.
Chef.
Chef, if I
Kenji.
may. Yes.
You've been talking about this menu.
Yes, Chef.
Part of the reason we were getting a loan was to build out a small additional kitchen area, an experimental zone of Cosmo's kitchen. I'm going to put you in charge of the experimental zone of Cosmo's kitchen. You're no longer a line cook. You're going to put down your blades for a little while. You're going to have a staff of 4. You can pick them. You can train them yourself. And you have 1 month. Put together a meal. The ideal meal that you've been pitching me. You're going to put it together with these 4 people, and you will be judged on its quality in a single event.
And he's gonna fall to his knees and start crying, and just overwhelmed with emotion through sobs. 1 month
You're
is
right.
so fucking little time.
Cosmo shakes his head. You're so weak, Kenji. And he moves on. He comes up to Briar. Briar.
Yes, sir.
He winces. I honestly didn't expect you to survive this. I really thought they were going to kill you or sacrifice you to the dragon. I sort of sent you with them, hoping they would sacrifice you to the dragon. You're an enigma. You're a mess.
Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised too. I chugged like 6 bottles of alcohol and made it out.
How are you still alive?
Mixologist's secret.
And that's why I can't get rid of you. There's something, I can't put my finger on it, but there's something unusual about you that I need to understand. Your reward is your continued existence. I must
Thanks,
get to the
Jeff.
secrets of what makes you tick and how you blend these things together. I've seen you mix dirt and vodka, and it doesn't taste bad. Or maybe it does, but I'm still curious about... This is what you're gonna do. Briar, I'm gonna give you my top 5 distilled beverages. One of them is made from the leaves off of a nymph's ear. One of them comes from the fungus that grows between the toes of dirt dwarves. One of them is imbued with the fiery feathers of a phoenix. And one of them has just potatoes that have been blessed by a cleric of Genus. It's a surprisingly good ingredient. I know it's not as fancy sounding, but it's real good. You're going to take these 4, and you're going to make for me 4 cocktails, and you're going to sit down and explain how and why you're mixing them with the things you are, because I don't understand. And there's nothing about cooking I don't understand, except for I can't use the word gift, but I will use the word style.
Thank you, Chef. I appreciate it.
And he just moves on. He can't have the words. He moves on to Bredgar Allen Doe.
It's such a good name.
Thank you. My greatest achievement.
Bredgar,
Yes, chef.
you've done very well for me.
I was lucky, chef. To be fair, Angus did a lot of the work there. But I'll take credit where it's due. I did do good.
I know one of the key ingredients that you've been using in your breads was the bone meal of the dead.
That's right.
Come with me. And he'll take you back into the meat shed, and he will pull out a finger bone, like a little tiny finger bone. And then he'll pull out like this oddly thick femur, and he'll be like, this here is the bone of a former employee, and this femur here is that of a unicorn. I want you to make me unicorn bread, and it had better sparkle, buddy. It had better taste like rainbows or something. I don't know, but there better be gold at the end of that rainbow.
Definitely, chef. Yes, chef. I've always dreamed of it. I've never seen a unicorn in my life. They don't come below the mountains, you know.
There's only 4 unicorn femurs available to this kitchen for all time, most likely, and I'm giving you one of them.
Yes,
On
chef.
the other hand, this finger is that of a gastromancer, one who has stirred many a pot with magic coming from their hand. It's no ordinary finger bone. It's a magic-imbued stirring finger. That's gonna have flavors. It's gonna have flavors of every dish this gastromancer has ever cooked. Complex, multifaceted. Do with it what you can.
Interesting, chef. Well, maybe we should cook it, or maybe it could be animated and used as a utensil to add further flavor to future dishes. I'll think about this, chef. Trust me, I'll make the most of this unicorn femur and the fingers of sweet potato here. Sorry, I knew who this was. I came to get a look at him before we left.
Is that why the rest of his bones were missing and I had to collect them?
We were just trying to get ahead of things, chef.
Didn't you think
Angus
I had things in mind for him? Then there's a reason I hung him up in here.
Oh, you hung him up? I thought he hung himself out of shame. But actually, it makes sense. He wouldn't have been able to reach that high to tie the rope. So actually, that's my bad. I should have thought of that.
Okay, we need to end. Session's over. Congratulations, party. You've done well. It's just too dark and too weird for me. I gotta go.
Let's go.
Okay, we went to
How do we manage to top every episode?
We've broken Neil. Yeah, I
More
think
than the
we
last one.
You know,
we need to reset next time.
I've been running D&D campaigns professionally on Twitch and YouTube for 10 years now, and the 5 Cosmo Kitchen episodes that I've run are the most disturbing, unsettling things I've ever done. Like, this is not like any other campaign, and
It's not right, actually. It's not normal.
it's really not right.
All of us should feel at least a little semblance of shame, I would say. I think that's
Well-
healthy. A little bit. I feel a little bit at least.
Personally, I'm
I
glad
feel
that we
pride.
got, of all people on the internet, JaidenAnimations to be a part of this. And
Thank you so much. It was an awesome experience, and I don't want to say appalled, but felt something along the way.
and isn't that what D&D really is about?
Exactly.
Oh, all right. Well,
It's where our normal episodes are not this deranged.
That's such a sad thing to hear. I-
Well, anyway, if you guys enjoy the content, we, the core cast of the show, we're going to be on the Patreon after show after this, I believe. Yes?
Yes.
yes.
Yes. Obviously, Jaiden has a place to be. She has a place to go. It's fine. But we'll be here discussing the episode and answering your Patreon questions. Patreon.com/saveordie if you would like to join. There's perks such as getting to ask us questions during the after show. You get access to the after show, and you also
Suggest names.
Yeah, you can suggest names for NPCs. You also get discount on this beautiful Save or Die merch that we have here.
Let's go. Boom.
We're all representing right now. Yeah, if you like dragons, then go to patreon.com/saveordie. Thanks for watching today, guys. I really appreciate it.
No.